Hello, sirs and sirs.
Was that necessary?
Welcome back to Krown's magical Z's cave.
Well. Welcome back to the Z's cave. Holy shit, man. Anyways, welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave, also Z's caves. We do appreciate the male body over here. Anyways, with that said, there's plenty to talk about today because what are you laughing at? We're in the year 2021. That's not funny or weird any longer, sir. Jesus Christ. Look at that. Just a relic from the past, the old dinosaur with her disgusting views. Anyways, we are more open-minded here, and with that said, we're gonna need to be very open-minded with this upcoming market. What's up, Mr. Scott Carney? I'm gonna have to turn the alerts off on you, sir, but I appreciate you, and good morning to you. Anyways, okay, all jokes aside, what do we have going on right here? Oh, wait, I forgot to wish you the best and the happiest. I'd like to do that right now because it is a nice little Friday, and you made it all the way throughout this very dastardly and very unbecoming and very fucking boring week, actually. So give yourself a congratulations because you get no goddamn rest on the weekend anyway, so who the hell cares, man? Time is an arbitrary concept. We made it up. Do the animals know what time it is? No, they don't. The time is always now. We are living in the present, and we are all one, my friends. Anyways, onto the Krown Chain app we go, which can be found at app.krownchain.net. Actually, before I do talk about that, I should say that I did an interview with Wall Street's Bets yesterday. The founder of it, actually, Mr. Jamie, who was super cool and very normal for a guy who's like, I guess, mega famous now. So you can go check that out on their YouTube channel. And with that said, let's get into the Krown Chain application now, which can be found at app.krownchain.net. I already repeated myself right there, but we do have plenty to talk about and discuss on it. Bitcoin dominance did come down significantly, but what does that likely tell us? It probably tells us that we are at a bit of a pivotal moment right now. And in that, I'm transplanetary. I'm feeling very trans TA right now too. Anyways, yeah, so Bitcoin dominance did come down quite a fair bit. I do want to check out the chart on it today, because if we do see that it is at a bit of a pivotal moment, that would be a damn good signal that we are getting ready for the next sort of actual move on the daily in a trending format, as we do look at this in more or less a macro reversal situation right now. Fear and Greed Index all stuck at a 28, which is rather interesting, and we do see everything else is, well, pretty much the same over here. But I would like to go into the market data tab. Again, we have all new quant data over here, which is at your disposal if you so desire. And what do we see? Okay, so global funding rates are once again turning ever so slightly negative. We do see a global negative rate of about, what is this? Negative 0.04%. Not anything too crazy right there, but it is going to play into the analysis that while Bitcoin is bearish on the short-term timeframes and higher-term timeframes here too, I don't necessarily think that we're ready to like break to new lows on this current structure. I'm still looking at very likely a bull trap first before potential further downside. Anyways, on top of that, open interest is more or less within the same range. We don't really see anything that is leading into any major biases right here. And is there anything else that I want to talk about? Yeah, this is really interesting to me, actually. Okay, the global exchanges net flows. Okay, and let me explain this really quickly right here. Another sort of piece of quant data. We do see that it is essentially the difference between the number of Bitcoin flowing into and out of exchange wallets. By the way, you can get these tooltips for yourself as well. Just highlight the little light bulb icon there. Anyways, this is negative right now, so that does mean that we do see, well, outflows are greater than inflows, meaning that people are taking their coins, presumably, off exchange. And when you typically take your coins off of exchange, when you are, well, more or less accumulating, I do imagine. So I do look at this as somewhat of a good sign of a little bit of accumulation going on in the $30,000 region. This is certainly not enough as it is right now, but overall, I would say that kind of balanced things out and says, hey, while things are bearish on the high-term timeframes, I don't think that we're ready to necessarily break down exactly right here. The market needs to really just wreck everyone, and you can't wreck everyone if you just go down in a straight line without giving a little bit of hopium in between. What's the hopium right now, though? The hopium right now is Ethereum's EIP 1559. What's interesting about EIP 1559? Well, there's actually a lot of things interesting about it, but essentially it makes Ethereum into a deflationary sort of asset, and that is actually happening, I believe, this month in July, which I got right now. Anyways, with that said, I do think that very likely plays into a little bit of a bull trappy scenario, most likely. And if we do see any sort of, any sort of price action leading into that, I think it's going to be sometime around the middle of July. And perhaps people around here know. What's up, Philson? I see you. Sorry, where was on that? Yes, perhaps that does lead into a little bit of hopium in the interim, but I would be looking at that, typically speaking, in the same way that I look at most events. You know, buy the rumor, sell the news, and if we do have a bit of a run up into there, I would be kind of playing that, you know, into the greater higher term time frame analysis, which is still very much bearish as long as Bitcoin's, you know, below $50,000, which is not that helpful because it's about to like a $20,000 range. But we'll kind of dial it in this video right here, and then over the weekend I'll put out like a fully focused video on the macro situation, because we do have a lot to, you know, extrapolate on now that we do have that monthly, bi-monthly, and semi-annual and quarterly close all coming in from yesterday, actually. Anyways, I do want to bring you back on over here to the put call market. We're actually going to be we're actually going to be hosting this data into the app as well soon enough. But for now, we will quote this region over here. And I just wanted to kind of put a little bit of a emphasis on July 30 expiration, because we do see that this one's going to get played quite a fair bit. Yes, there's a little bit of interest actually on our current day, where right here, in fact, but it's nothing compared to what we're looking at the end of the month, and then of course September and December. But right now, what does this essentially imply? It essentially implies that we probably do not close this month below $25,000. We probably don't also close above $40,000. And with that in mind, while I do think that Bitcoin could very easily get above $40,000 probably sometime this month, on any sort of a bull trap, extremely unlikely that we do close above that, just kind of based off this. I mean, this is just getting massive attention right here. Anyways, with that said, it is going to be now time to go into the actual price action charts themselves. I'm gonna start off with these charts right in over here today because, well, why the fuck not? And there's actually a lot of things going on right here on the medium and higher term time frames. Anyways, actually, before we talk about that, let's talk about, or let's follow up on yesterday's short term time frame analysis. We did say, or at least I did put in a short video yesterday, like the little shorts things, which, by the way, a lot of people have been telling me that they actually haven't been getting notified from YouTube from. If you want to ensure the best way to get notified from them, I would actually like quite literally tell you to subscribe and then hit the bell. I know that's fucking annoying to hear that, but I think that that's actually the best way to get it like on time. Otherwise, for some reason, like they've been sending it out like a day later for whatever reason. I'm not so sure why, but anyways, if you want that, you know, at the most pristine moment, then that's, I think, the best way to do it. Okay, so right in over here, so following up from yesterday, we did say that, hey, Bitcoin is putting in a bit of a head and shoulders right here, and with any sort of a closure below about 34,200-ish region, or just taking out the day prior low, we would initiate a bit of a move down to about 32,500-ish region with a bounce along the way at 33.5, which we did get on both ends, and it's looking like we probably have a little more continuation of the downside based off that. If we go back on over here, technically speaking, the measure move from the, whoops, I actually took that as a reversal, or sorry, a continuation pattern, but seeing as we did confirm the actual reversal format of this, technically speaking, the measure move would be pointing down a little bit further south than where we're currently at right now at about 31,700-ish region, and that would pretty much bring us back down to the lows of late June, right? Anywhere around 31.5 to 31.7-ish region is fair game as far as I'm concerned, and I would still be looking for Bitcoin to put in a bit of a higher term time frame bounce there. I do not think that Bitcoin's ready to break down just yet. Yes, things are, you know, looking pretty damn nasty on the higher term time frames, but again, I don't think that this market's going to make it that easy on the bears right now. Of course, it should be denoted that daily is still very much in a downtrend. We just got another lower high confirmed as of yesterday. I mean, I wouldn't even say of yesterday, I would say the day before, in fact. And so, you know, make no mistake about it. Like, this is not the picture of health and fitness right now. Anyways, take a shot for that, because I see that there's a drinking game going on here too. But if we bring up our momentum oscillators right here, what did we just confirm last night? Or actually, I guess not last night, but the night before that, we confirmed hidden bearish divergence once a fucking again. It's like Bitcoin can't get past the neutral zone on the RSI. And if we go over here to the 2-day, I think we just confirmed, yes, on yesterday night's close as well. So technically speaking, I would be looking at the very least at a move back down to the low side of these ranges here. And that would be also synonymous with your 31.5, 31.7-ish target. And I do think that Bitcoin's going to try for another low right there. We'll probably see some sort of, you know, short-term bear trap going on around that region. And then maybe Bitcoin levels itself out and perhaps gives that run to the upside, probably led by Ethereum's, you know, hype going on right now. I've been getting a lot of messages about this, actually, that Krown, do you think that Ethereum is going to decouple from Bitcoin when it gets its new upgrade and everything? And the short answer is no, I don't think so. Just for like a short term, perhaps. We have seen Ethereum kind of lead in the past before, but you know, shit like that, I don't think is going to reverse what we've seen right over here on like the macro scale, for example, but could put in a bit of a bull trap anywhere up to the mid and deeper $40,000 territory. Yeah, absolutely. And Ethereum kind of same thing as well, of which we'll get to that one a little bit later. But for now, I do want to check out the 3-day here too, because we do have this one closing tonight. And again, you know, we did have a bit of bullish divergence coming off of 2 closes ago. Could you say that that's already played out? No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. So I do kind of hold reservations with this one, like really breaking down as of the current moment in time. Any sort of a move back down below 32,000 bucks, I do imagine probably does get pushed back on up. Looking at the 5-day, I think becomes a little bit more clear right here. See all these wicks accumulated below that region. It's actually below about 34,500 on a closing basis. That is suggestive that we are seeing a little bit of activity right there. Someone is, someone is buying this region, and I'd probably be looking for a bounce back up somewhere around the 21 at the very least on this time frame before seeing any sort of further like long-term downside. But make no mistake about it, this chart is, it's not fucking good right here. We did a lot of damage, or a lot of things were kind of clarified on the monthly closure. Or at least I was extremely conservative with the way that I was kind of looking at this over the past month, because I really wanted to see these higher term time frame closures. But based off of what we did see, I guess just yesterday, which was confirmed, I'm not necessarily a humongous fan of what's going on right here. But you can see on the monthly, we could very easily bounce back up into the mid 40s, and wouldn't really do all that much for price action right here. Realistically, this is not not looking too hot, especially when we go to the higher term time frames like the bi-monthly, which by the way just confirmed, I guess yesterday confirmed bearish divergence right here, which at the very least I want to see it come down to the 10 simple, and that is right around about a little bit above 25,000 bucks. So sometime over the next couple months, I do think that Bitcoin probably does make a little bit of a run towards that region, and we probably do see a bounce there as well. Same thing on the 3 month as well. Hey sir, are you okay over there? Are you okay? Else is having a laugh attack right now. Quarter chub, I'll take it. There you go. Anyways, I do want to go back on over here to our secondary charts and bring up a couple of the things a little bit more sombering perhaps, as we do see that the hash ribbon still does not have a blue buy signal, so there is no talks of a macro low in place at all whatsoever ever until we get something like that. And then on top of that, we want to see a higher low on the daily would be a good plan as well. And then that BBWP on the daily as well trended the downside, which that one actually is, and that actually should naturally happen first before the other two. But until we get all three kind of coinciding with each other, I don't think that we're going to see any like major macro low, and any sort of rallies, again into the $40,000 territory very likely does end up being a trap. Of course, we also did confirm the monthly accumulation distribution indicator, which did come back down right on over here. And by the way, I'm using the total now, so this is a TradingView native fully inclusive history of Bitcoin. And actually massive thank you to Mr. Gridlock for that, because I keep on forgetting about this. But yes, we did get a negative slope on this one. I think it's a little more obvious on Bitstamp as well right here. And anytime that we have seen the slope change on this, whether it be from positive to negative or negative to positive, those have been your macro moves. Sometimes not the best timer of them, especially to the downside, but in this case right here, it does give the general bias that we are seeing distribution within this region. And if we are seeing distribution within this region, we very likely are looking at lower prices over the long term. So fair enough on that. And of course, we also did break the 9 exponential average right here on the monthly, which we're kind of looking at as just like a general, guideline of what sort of portion of the market cycle that we're in. Actually, we'll go back to this one right here. And you can see that actually over the totality of Bitcoin's history, it's just one of those weird things that's been working relatively well. Not that I put too much weight on it myself, but, I think the results kind of speak for themselves realistically, as we do see anytime the Bitcoin price action has been above it on a monthly, we are within the throes of a bull market. And of course, whenever Bitcoin just even closes slightly below it, that is your more corrective phases, if you will, or crash phases if you are more normal. Anyways, we can see this one over here from prior high to next low after breaking it. That was a 95% pullback, bro. Anyways, that actually kept you long the whole way through, even through the double bubble of 2013, 2014. Then we break it right on over here. And then of course, from prior high to next major low, 86 and 62% right there. Kind of nasty. Then we regain it right on over here. Works actually pretty damn well to the upside too. In fact, I would say a little bit better. But then the inevitable happens in March 2018, right? And from prior high to next major low, what do we see right here? 84.5% to the downside. Well, that's not necessarily the best thing. And then Bitcoin regains it over here. Nice little rally to the upside. And then the same thing happens once again. We break it right here. So we take the prior high to next major low, 72.5%. This one a little bit more, little bit less aggressive, to be fair. And as of right now, obviously we did get our first closure below that one. It does have a slightly negative slope right here. And while I do think that Bitcoin probably does, try a rally first before trying some downside, I do want to just kind of play around with numbers. What would happen if we did shave off about the same sort of percentage losses that we have seen in the past? Well, 70% brings us down to 18,500. 85%. Oh, I don't even want to fucking know. Okay, well, that one's too wrecked to care. We're not going to talk about that. Look, I'm not saying that Bitcoin's going to come down there. I don't think that Bitcoin will come down there. And realistically, it is relevant, or it is reasonable to say that over a longer period of time, as this asset matures, we would expect that those pullbacks are going to be less and less aggressive over time, because there's just going to be more people within this market, and we probably aren't going to see like these sorts of massive swings that we've seen in the past. Just kind of represent, the more maturedness of what's available in the order books right now. It's it's going to be harder to chew through with more people interested in this market, and there is no denying it that compare 2021 compared to like 2011, 2013, 2014, there's certainly more people within this market right now. So I think the downside would not be as dramatic. And personally speaking, do I think that Bitcoin goes into the mid low $20,000? Probably yes, over time, but probably not this month as well. I don't think that this downside is going to happen this month. If it happens, probably going to be maybe September, October, November area, somewhere around there is kind of where we're looking for. This is going to take a long time for the people who've been here for a while, which I know that there are several here. There he is, Mr. Derek M. There he is. What's up, man? By the way, happy Canada Day, sir. For the people who've been here for a while, you probably remember, or you certainly remember, that 2018 was really drawn out for a very long time, and I imagine this will be somewhat similar as well. This is not going to reverse in just like a second. We're going to be taking our time here, so get comfortable, because this is really the time where if you are going to be still within this market, you do have to cultivate your trading skills, or just pull out the market altogether and kind of wait for the next macro entry. Of course, at the end of the day, you make your own decisions. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, of course, but if we go down to the lower time frames over here, what are we looking at as far as let me go back to this chart right here. As far as things go, we were kind of based it off the 786. So do we try another bounce from this region right here? Possible, yes, but generally speaking, I would be looking for those higher term time frame bearish divergences to play out to the downside first before any sort of a legitimate bounce. There is a counterpoint on the other side that's actually very, very easy to get right now, and that would just be the last 4-hour high right here, which is 33,965 and a half. Anywhere above there, even on a tick, we very likely do see Bitcoin you back around and stab back up towards the high of this week thus far, and probably initiate that next sort of what do you want to call it, more prolonged move to the upside. Again, I do hold serious reservations with it. Until Bitcoin essentially proves itself. It's really up to the Bitcoin bulls at this point to kind of prove themselves, as everything else is, pretty much all the balls are in the bears, on the bears court right now. So with that in mind, as long as Bitcoin's closing, especially daily and weeklies below $50,000, I think that this is at best going to go sideways between about $30,000 and $45,000, and at worst, we do see the bottom drop out and head lower. So still, I would say, regardless of all of the things that we've been speaking about, I still would actually say that my main disposition is that this holds until it does not. That is just one of my personal rules, and I do think that there's a good chance that it probably does. This sort of accumulation area right here that I drew in about a month and a half ago, which is still, funnily enough, holding up rather well, which I did not intend for, but just kind of like as a just kind of as like a fun thought experiment, did draw in as like, hey, look, if we are going to put in a bottom here, it probably looks something like this, and that's possible. I think best case scenario for blue laws is we see some sort of a bull trap in July, pop up in this region right here, come back down, base in this region once again, and just don't break $30,000 and get and just bore the ever-loving shit out of people for the next 2-3 months or something like that, and then perhaps give a try to the upside once again later on in this year. If that were to happen, that would probably be, in my opinion, best case scenario. Now, I do want to go over to Ethereum as well, because I think that Ethereum is well, I think that Ethereum, from a fundamental perspective, that is actually more likely to lead the market in this month of July, based off of its event, of course. And what do we see right here? We see, yet again, another lower high being confirmed. Also, not only is that a lower high, but we do see hidden bearish divergence on top of this as well. So while we are getting a little bit of a short-term time frame bounce, it looks like, which, could bounce up a little bit more, I'm not too concerned about that. Overall, I very likely would be looking for another continuation drive, at the very least down to 1970-ish region, and then probably does reach a little bit lower, somewhere around 1900 is where your actual support is, it looks like. But then again, is support real right now, or support a lie? Yes, that's right. Support is a lie. There's only tiers. You must believe in the bear of Jesus. No, I'm just kidding. But looking at this right here, I'm just not a fan of this price action right here. Looking at the weekly, this looks absolutely abysmal. In fact, that try to the upside was cleanly rejected thus far, and realistically, we're going to see the close for the weekend probably today, right? Because we do see that Ethereum has futures, and what does the futures look like? It looks like absolute dog shit is what it looks like. And of course, Bitcoin CME will be closing today as well. And what do you know? Same sort of thing going on right here. does not look good. In fact, if I was going to be bearish looking for new lows coming in sooner rather than later, I'd be looking at the CME charts right now. But overall, I do still think that it's a lot more likely, whether you're bullish or bearish, to see another bounce off of the low $30,000 region before further continuation of the downside. I mean, this is likely going to take some time, but if you are looking at this one right here, there are, you know, several things to be concerned with. Of course, we do see the same cross, which actually is maybe easier seen on the stamp chart over here. Let's just go to total actually, between the red 10 simple, the yellow 20-month exponential moving average, and the blue 30-month moving average. So keep an eye on what's going on right here, because we've seen this interplay several times in the past. The last time that we saw this one pretty much exactly within this current posturing was back on over here in 2019. Bitcoin spends about 3 months consolidating on the highs, very similar to this Reddit over here. Breaks down, we do see that first initial sort of consolidation phase right here, very similar to this one right here, where we do get those crosses. We see the red 10 symbol cross the downside of the 21, blue 30 simple starts to govern. Bitcoin does get a bounce above, it does get a bounce above, and that's why I do think that a bull trap is somewhat likely at the very least. And what happens after that? Rejection, Bitcoin base is lower, and eventually we see the catastrophic drop actually in March 2020, of course. So pretty fucking nasty right there. Same thing right on over here as well, where we do see, the exact same interplay basically. Bitcoin basing right on over here in a little bit more of a shorter format. And what do we get? We get all of those crosses. 30 simple starts governing, and it actually governs the whole way through on that bear market from 2018 to 2019, right? And what do we see before that? Do we have any other good iterations? We do. We actually do. This one would be a good counterpoint to what I'm saying. This is one of the ones that this is the only one that does not work out. But I would, no, I don't have any argument against it. So it's not perfect, obviously, but we can show a few other things that are confluent with this anyways. And we see another very similar signature to this over here, right? Bitcoin bases for about 3-4 months, it looks like, on the highs, drops down, tries to put in a base over about a month and a half right here. We get the crosses, Bitcoin bounces up into the bull trap, and then down we go. And do we have any other examples? Actually, we do. One more right on over here as well. Same sort of thing. Once that cross happens, nasty, nasty, nasty. So we have about 4 iterations, I believe. 5 iterations. One of them did not work out. So pretty damn good hit rate with that. And if we do combine that, of course, with what I've been speaking about for the last month now with the bi-weekly MACD, I think that kind of further enhances it, of course, which we do see a nice clean interplay with this as well. And we do see that the bi-weekly MACD has obviously crossed the downside. Same thing as what we saw in October 2019, February 2018, and of course, March 2014, which you already know are all the same areas. This one right here, this one right here, this one right here, and this one, where was it? Hold on. No, it was this one right here, this one right here, and then this one right here. And very similar interplay to here, on this one as well. We get the bi-weekly MACD crossing the downside, and then of course Bitcoin based off the 20 simple as the 9 exponential average kind of converges on price action, and the bounce essentially fails. That exactly as we see right here, same thing as we see right here, same thing as we see right here, and that is accompanied again by that bi-weekly MACD signal. So overall, again, all of those were met by a bull trap before that further continuation to the downside. So realistically, where do those ones find their lows? I mean, they all came down to the 55, which is currently at around $24,000. And then actually after that, after another failed bounce, they all move lower over time, which is, I guess, the more bearish view of this. I don't know if I'd say that blindly just now. I just want to kind of present the data and you can make the decisions for yourself. I do think that there is, a chance that Bitcoin has a little bit of Bitcoin magic. At the end of the day, we've all seen crazy things in this land, but it'd probably require like another couple of countries adopting Bitcoin as legal tender, and then on top of that, like an ETF as well. And then maybe we could see something, truly spectacular where Bitcoin just fails to break this $30,000 region that we've been speaking about, and eventually kind of curls back around and spends like, maybe the latter part of 2021 that is this year, actually trying a constructive rally back up above $50,000. So until that kind of stuff happens, I do think that this is, not necessarily the time to be like rushing into position, because even if you are bullish and you do think that $30,000 is low, which I think that that is a possibility, certainly. You're probably not looking at it like from here. Like Bitcoin's not going to fucking V bottom out of this exact region right here. I mean, obviously it's not V bottoming out, because you would have V bottomed out way the fuck back on over here. And what happened? No, we got rejected in the low 40s, which is going to put that idea completely to the wayside. So again, this is best case scenario for the bulls, and I do think that it is possible to happen. I will not let go of that scenario until we do one of these next 3 things. That being 1, a daily closure below about 30,800. 2, 2, a 4-hour closure below about 30,300, or 3, a weekly closure below about 32,000 bucks. If one of those 3 things happens, very fucking bad, and we very likely do see the descent into the deeper $20,000 territory. And the sooner that happens, the more likely that Bitcoin actually does eventually go lower. Actually, I know that people are talking about targets to 15,000 bucks or even lower than that. I wouldn't necessarily say that's like my first target for this right now, but is it possible? I mean, anything's possible. Is it probable? I wouldn't say that it's the most probable thing right now. Anyways, hey, I appreciate that drive with Bishop. He says you should have 1 million subscribers. Your shows are great. I appreciate that, man. But it's actually kind of nice to keep this place a little bit more on like the hush hush, because I, for whatever it's worth, man, it's actually like kind of crazy that this place even got this big to begin with. Like I didn't, it's not that I don't want it to be this big. Like it's cool. It's very cool to have a community like, like this, but it also kind of scares me because the bigger that it gets, the more and more likely that, things could just get out of hand and becomes unmanageable. So, I don't like to, measure this channel off of the subscriber success. I like to manage this channel off of like the community, which I think that we have a pretty damn good community for the most part. People are pretty damn reasonable here. And it seems like people are very, understanding, because when I go to other YouTube channels and whatnot, a lot of the time, like I'll read the comments and it's just like these people, they are like the McDonald's of cryptocurrency, and they it's not that they're bad people, they just don't fucking know any better. And this is not going to be good content for those sorts of people. Like when we're talking about this shit right here, it's not going to be like for the long-term holders who are being told like, hey, Bitcoin's going to fucking 10 million this year, baby. It's going to 500 million. No, it's going to 1 fucking billion, trillion. We're going to a trillion. It's like, what the hell? That's not helpful to anyone, because it's, 1, extremely unlikely to happen, and 2, it's like, we're just playing like a game of financial chicken, where everyone's like trying to just one up each other with like the most ridiculous targets that are extremely unlikely to happen. So yeah, man. Oh, there he is. What's up, Meccan? Sir, will the Queen of Unicorn Land, Elsa, publicly broadcast their acceptance of the magical coins as legal tender for the people of the Unicorn Land? Your call!
Actually, he has listened.
It doesn't. Oh,
Can you check Pornhub because it's about to bust?
Can you check Pornhub because it's about to bust? Well, maybe after the stream we can whack off a little bit later. Anyways, looking at whack off after the stream, baby. Yeah, man. Again, I do want to address this one more time. I just keep on. There's 2 things that I keep on seeing around the web. And it's like, look, man, if the people who are perpetuating this stuff, if they're listening right now, you can contact me. I'm more than happy to kind of explain this. But first and foremost, are we seeing like a Wyckoff accumulation here? Volume profile says, fuck no. Volume profile says very unlikely, at least as of now. This would have to go on for like another 2 months with a lot of accumulation, especially below like 34,000 bucks before that even becomes somewhat relevant. And then 2, I think a lot of people are like trying to draw, for some reason, a triangle on this. I actually do like triangles, but I don't see in any way, shape, or form how you can have a triangle in this price section right here. If anything, it's a rectangle, another kindergarten sort of formation, but those actually do work out relatively well, especially in traditional markets. And I don't really see them as much in crypto land, but at the end of the day, we got one massive range here, 30,000 to 40,000 bucks. It's quite literally that simple. There's not really like too many there's not really like too much else to say about it. I'm curious, is there anything on the lower term timeframes that we could also cover as well? Hourly is doing what? Looking like we're playing out some more hidden bearish divergence. Still looking like next move, once again to the downside to me. BBWP is expanding right here too. We're likely looking at another move back down somewhere around 32 to 31,500-ish region before another potential bouncy bounce. Buy hourly is actually still contracting. 3 hour is expanding. 4 hour is looking like it wants to expand as well. So I do think that we're looking at a little bit of a short-term move first, probably bounce away at low 32, and then maybe another try for a low at like 31,500-ish region. What am I mentioning also saying over here? This is way too out of a time frame to give a fuck about, but let's go down to the hourly, see what we got going on. By the way, the hourly Stokes have been phenomenal as of recent times. You know how like we've been talking about cheat codes on the on Stokes. At one point in like 2018 it was the 3 hour. It just, for whatever reason, and I don't have an explanation why, but whoever the market operator was, like it just seemed whenever the 3-hour stocks turned, whether it's upside or downside, like we always got some pretty nice moves for that. Then it was, I think, the 10-hour, then it was a 12-hour, then it was like the 8 or 6-hour, and now it seems to be the hourly is working incredibly well right here. And what do you know, we're crossed down as long as below about 33,700ish region. If you're looking at this, I think what am I using right here? Yeah, Super Guppy with my own with my special inputs. It's not anything special. I can't even show you. It's not anything too crazy. Just a bunch of these numbers right here. Anyways, this is obviously trending to the downside right now on the short-term time frames. Buy hourly is doing what? Same shit. Also freshly crossing down as well. I mean, these are, very beat up right here. So it's really not going to take, I really don't think that we have enough momentum to like fully break below 30,000 bucks just yet. But you can see the 3 hours it's crossing down right now as well. And 4 hours actually way the fuck down there. So probably another swipe of the lows at the very least. And, then hodl your breath once again. 12-hour does have actually plenty of room to go, to be fair, and daily is very concerning right here. Actually, the daily could make me actually look for a breakdown coming into next week if we do close, I suppose, below about 31,900 right now, as that would be essentially closing below, would it be closing below structure? It'd be closing at structure, but momentum turning down at the bottom side of the structure. That's pretty good setup for a potential breakdown as well. I'm curious what the weekly says right here. Weekly actually will have, well, I was going to say we'll have a chance to cross the upside possible, but we still got a few days left to go. And well, that's looking so fucking filthy, man. Looking really fucking filthy. So yeah, we've spoken about a lot of doomium, a little bit of hopium, hopefully trying to keep this as balanced as possible. But at the end of the day, understand that if you are new here, as I understand, there's a shit ton of new people here from Wall Street's Bets and Elio Trade's channel as well. And you're more than welcome, of course. Like we're always happy to have new people in this community. Understand that this community is more or less focused on traders. So we are gonna, at some points be extremely fucking bearish, and at some points we will be extremely fucking bullish. But this is not necessarily the time, in my opinion, to be extremely fucking bullish at this exact moment. So very, very cool. Anyways, all right, let's see. I think I'm going to get to the comments right now because we're already 41 minutes into this video. Actually got a really good night of sleep last night too, so this is going well. And it's actually very cool to see that there's actually still a decent amount of people in these streams, even when Bitcoin is not really doing anything of like humongously more, I suppose, just price action. I mean, there's not a whole hell of a lot going on. Anyway, Scott Carney says, hello, gays. ALYI, if 0.07 breaks, what targets? Okay, ALY. Is this the Bitcoin one or is this? No, this is alternate system. So I don't know what this thing is, but if 7 cents breaks, what happens? I'd be looking at another run back up towards the blue box territory. I still like this chart, man, long term, but is this one ready to like rock and roll right now? No, I probably not. Short term probably does test, around the highs of this current rally. And I think yesterday, Scott, I was a little bit less confident on this one, probably saying that this one, right in the middle of the range probably does test the downside of it first, but I'd still be, I suppose more or less bullish on it. I think that I'm going to be wrong about this one. This one looks like it wants to test the top side of the range first. I don't think it's ready to break just yet. Probably stays in the range a little bit longer. And then over time, I do think that it will pop back up on it here, but I would like to see 7 cent break first. Weekly is okay. Yeah, maybe I do still stick with that. Maybe it does have another run towards the downside. Again, you kind of see me flip-flopping on this one. The more important thing is long-term, yeah, fine. But my point is that, can it bake in this range for, another month or two? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really wouldn't be too out of the ordinary right there. But long-term, it does really look like we do have a macro reversal in progress. A little bit of a double bottom right here on a slightly higher low. Good volume on the last up thrust and clearing above the prior accumulation range, that 3.7, 3.8 cent region. So completely fine, but gonna take its time, naturally speaking. I don't think this is like happening this month, to put it bluntly. D1128 says, Elsa, I make more money than Eric. Let's marry. That's right, you can take her. All good, man. That's all you need to do. You just buy your wife and then they will love you forever. That's how it works. If you give them more like green little coupons, then they will actually have more hearts in their eyes when they see you. It's that simple, man. If you have a peepee that is both made of chocolate and ejaculates green dollars, that's the fucking dream for all women right there, man. No. Michael Kirk says, would you short Krown stock at 670? I don't know. Let's see. Probably not, because I don't trade it. Okay, well, on what time frame? At 670, no. I mean, if I'm on a weekly, this one looks like it's actually getting ready for a bit of a reversal. It is a reversal right now. I mean, look at this, man. That's rather powerful. On a daily, what I shorted at at 670? No. Unless if it's like a very short-term time frame trade. This one, the breakout looks real, but god damn, man, good luck. What the fuck's going on right here? The hourly shows barely any history. Wait, hold on. What's going on here? This is very bizarre. These are completely different charts. I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't look at this at all because this is extremely bizarre. Something weird is going on right here. I mean, obviously you're seeing this as well. The weekly has data all the way back to 2013. The daily, just a few months. That's very strange. If you are going to short it, I mean, like you're basically fading the breakout, and I don't know how much I trust this chart, which so far I don't trust it at all. If anything, maybe you have like a little bit of a range short back down to like $6, but in my opinion, first off, I wouldn't want to play something that looks like this, and second off, this looks like it probably is a bit of a breakout to me, but I don't feel too confident on this, man, because we're just getting like mixed signals around. Like, what the fuck is this? How does that happen? Do you have an explanation for this? Like, did something disastrously wrong happen, or I don't know. I've actually never seen something like this. I don't think it might just be like a trading view issue. But look, man, if I'm looking at this, especially on the weekly, I look at this as like the breakout's real. Maybe you do get another short-term downside move, like just below $6. But you're kind of like playing with fire. All you have to do is just wait for a little bit of a pullback if you want to, and then if you want to play a bit of a short-term up, I think that's a lot more of a safer trade. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I really I hold a lot more reservations with that chart, man. I'd rather, if I'm going to look for an easy trade, I would not pick something that looks like this right now. Third Domino, welcome to the cave, sir. Good to have you, sir. Sam Bolliger says bull trap was in the total 2 market cap as 2017 needed Bitcoin to buy shitcoins. That's why we got a rounded top. Thoughts? I mean, you can always say that, right? Okay, so first off, let's bring up exactly what you're talking about. So you're looking at the total market cap. This is without Bitcoin though. So total 2 is just altcoins, no Bitcoin included. Did we all get the bull trap for this one? Yeah, you could say that was it right there. Yeah, I do think so. Yes, that's relevant to say. Yes. Yeah, you bring up a really good point, actually. In altcoins, more or less look like this. I mean, altcoins literally look like the fucking bubble chart, like the Wall Street market cycle cheat sheet chart. And there is your complacency bounce. It got rejected, and yeah, that would be your bull trap. Yes. Let's actually see on a fib retracement perspective, how high did we get there? Okay, we got up to about almost a 618. It looks like. If I use Wix, then maybe not as much, but I don't think it's as important to use Wix in this case. You did get up to the 0.5, which is good enough anyways. On a closing basis, what do we see? You got up to the 0.5 as well. So yeah, it's relevant to say yes. I would say so. That also means, and I can offer up a little bit of hopium on the other side too. Although I don't think that this chart looks like it's going to do it from this current posturing, to be 100% honest. But I would be looking at this area right here, that $1 trillion marker. If we do see a move back above there, then that is your essentially bullish confirmation of, very likely retesting prior highs and making new all-time highs. Until that happens though, I mean, this literally looks like the fucking Wall Street market cycle cheat sheet. I mean, this is what the real chart looks like, by the way. Does that look like a bubble to you? No, it looks like legitimate and true growth over a long period of time. This is literally just the last year. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Yeah, man, not great. So you do bring up a really, really good point. Perhaps this bear market gets led by altcoins here, of which that would be probably the best case, the best supporting evidence for that. Yeah, I'd agree with that. 100%, man. But thank you for bringing that one up. Super Googly says 1 trillion per Bitcoin. I am shaking right now. I'm literally shaking. This is insane. Hello, sir. Can we please look at VET USD daily, please? Sure. VET US DERP right here on Binance. And let's see what we got going on. I think you said daily. Yes, you did say daily. Okay, cool. Let's put this back on log because, well, might as well make it look a little bit more pretty. Okay, another lower high right here. What happens after a lower high? Typically, we come back down, at the very least, test around the low side structure. That would be about 7.6 cent. Yeah, not a big fan of this one. Not right now. God damn, man. I don't know if Josh is still here, but Jesus Christ, you've You created the top. You have Josh to blame for this one. He literally sold the fucking top, big time too. Obviously just kidding, but yeah, man. I mean, he did do that, but I don't think he like full on stopped the rally. You know, it's more of a mark cycle thing. Weekly looks atrocious. You know, next major levels to the downside is going to be, you know, just under 4 cents, and then realistically, your big area is going to be about 2.5 cents long term. But that is long term. Obviously, you're asking about a daily. The daily, I mean, it's no more complicated than just looking simply at the daily trend. We have another lower high, and well, while that is not accompanied by hidden bearish evidence, which you typically want to see on these ones, you know, granted, the general market, it does not look too damn good. Short-term timeframes look very obviously like they want to come lower. Again, about 7.5 to 7.6 cents, and maybe see a bit more of a bounce in like the low sevens or so. Again, mostly going to be based off whatever Bitcoin does. I still stick with what I said earlier. I don't think Bitcoin's ready to like fully break down just yet. If it is going to break down, this is, oh man, this is something else right there. Yeah, not looking too hot right now. All right, what else we got, baby? What else do we got today? Jack Asselman says, good morning, Krown. What's up, man? Ethereum, Bitcoin, short and medium term, please. Sure, yes. Let's check out what this one's doing. I imagine this one had a decent last day. No, it did not. It actually came down. Do we have a lower high in place? Do we have a lower high in place? I think that we do, actually. Yes, we did check out yesterday's low. So if there's one thing that does make me think that we might see this market pull itself up by its bootstraps, it's actually Ethereum Bitcoin, because the reason why is because whenever we are seeing a bullish Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, we are typically within the throes of a long-term bullish market. This one right here does have some pretty obvious pivot points. So if we do take out last month low, which is all the way down to like 0.055, then I would actually still be long-term bullish on it, you know, believe it or not. But I'd be looking for a massive move down to about 4.5 million Satoshis. I don't think that's what's happening right now. This one is still holding in, you know, a general range, obviously, but does it come back down and test around the lows, somewhere around here, you know, at the very least at about 9.5 million Satoshis? Probably yes, but I give this one a chance. It is technically within the formation of a descending channel right here, which is more statistically resolved to the upside over time. But can it come down and be walked upon this bottom side support of it? Yeah, absolutely it can. I mean, it can be walked down for, you know, infinity, which is why I don't like these formations in general, but they actually do work out, you know, decently well. In my experience, especially in traditional markets, actually, and Forex definitely is really where I like to pay attention to that one. Cryptocurrency land, a little bit less so, but still relevant to watch, in my opinion. What does weekly look like? Again, you got a nice base somewhere around the 21 in this case, so I'd give it a chance. We did have a nice little rally in this one, but short term, does it come back down? It looks like yes. Short-term time frame momentum oscillators are all kind of spent right here. The best hoping I can give you is 4 hour. Could potentially put in hidden bullish evidence, but we need to see a higher low being printed like today, which it is literally not showing any signs of, you know, of a low being formed right here as of right now. It doesn't mean that I can't, but I need to see something resembling, you know, stop and reverse. So I need to see like a doge dildo right here and then pop back up above, you know, 6.3 million Satoshis. Everything else though does pretty much stay down for the short term, but I give it another chance to bounce off the bottom side of this formation, which it sounds like you're more on the higher term time frames. Because you typically do ask about, actually, no, you're asking about short and medium term. Oh, then that's actually a lot easier. Yeah, short term down. Short term very likely down here. I'd be looking for a short term move back down to about 6 million even, probably a short term bounce there. Medium term timeframes, I'll be looking at like a 4 hour and 12 hour, and both of those say, yeah, probably try for a bounce at 6 million Satoshis first. I don't have an opinion on whether that one fails or not. I mean, obviously the trend is down right here. And this is looking all sorts of weird right there, to be honest with you. So I think I'd just be comfortable saying that, give it a chance to bounce, and then come back to it tomorrow. So yeah. All right, cool. Micah R says, your hair turns me on in all time frames. Fucking nice, baby. Another hair joke. That one's actually very, very unique. I love it, man. Spencer Smith says, Elsa dishes, I choose you. Actually, Elsa's been recording some Pokemon themed TikToks recently, I've seen. If you want to check her out, I think what is your TikTok, sir? She's so fucking shy. She's so shy. She won't say it. I actually don't know what her TikTok is, but I assume it's probably the same name as her name on this here YouTube's. Anyways, Cole Evans says, hi, Krown. What's up, man? Could you point out some potential targets that would correlate with the Bitcoin breakdown for Cardano USD on Binance? Okay, this is actually a very interesting question, just because Cardano has been one of the better actors, so we'd expect that well, we don't expect it to do anything legitimately different from Bitcoin on the macro scale, but we do expect it to maybe have a little bit of better results based off of its strength in the prior market. This one really is starting to keel over right here. Short term, probably does come back down to like 117, 115-ish region, but it is hard to look for like legitimately hefty downside. Like, and when I'm talking about like hefty downside, I mean like, on a weekly move down to, let's say, like 40 cents or so, as long as we're still maintaining above this sort of range lows right here, the same range that's been holding it up for the last almost half a year now, actually, going back to February, in fact. So that's actually rather impressive, but that would be about a $1 right there. So let's say Bitcoin did break below 30,000 bucks, which again, I don't think that that's what's happening at this exact moment right now, but if it were, we're running with an assumption, it's a big assumption, then where would you look for Cardano to essentially find its footing? Well, that would very likely imply we do break below $1 right here. And if that happens, well, you can see that it's pretty much all air down to, your last like macro area is right here at about 40 cents. So I'd probably be looking at, perhaps a macro low being formed around there. Monthly looks like what? The monthly still doesn't look super terrible. In fact, the monthly is still okay. There are a few things within this market that do make me consider maybe we do see Bitcoin, try for a low at 30,000 bucks. It's possible. It's definitely possible because this one's not really showing too many signals that make me think that we've like fully topped out on the macro scale just yet. This is still one of the more strong ones, obviously. Yes, it does have some downside here. Monthly RSI is like not the most healthy, but can it come back down and swipe just below $1 and close above it? Yeah, I think possible. So one of the more interesting ones, but again, gonna be tethered to whatever Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin comes down to like 20,000 bucks or 25,000 bucks, you're probably looking somewhere between about 35 and 40 cents. If things really crash below there, which this is like a humongous assumption, I don't think that that's what's happening, or at least I don't think it's like relevant to be talking about right now. But since you asked, if Bitcoin were to crash below 20,000 bucks to like 15,000 bucks, I'd be looking for this one back down to 14, 15 cents actually. Again, purely hypothetical right there, but that's essentially the corollaries I'd be looking at. All right, hey, what's up, Jev? Aussie dollar, US dollar daily. Okay, thanks for the Canada Day. Hell yeah, man, I love the Canadians. Canadian people are just so nice. They're like, it's actually Elsa met some Canadians when she was in America, and she's like, they're so nice. It makes me feel uncomfortable because she's Finnish and they don't know what it's like to just have a nice friendly conversation with a stranger. Anyways, what are we looking at over here on Aussie dollar, US dollar? Obviously downtrend right here, clear and obvious distribution going on from January and resolved in June. So we got 6 months long right there. Looks like we're getting our first sort of nice move down. Weekly we just got our throwback. It's getting rejected. So this one is actually operating in a nice Wyckoff distribution format. So what do we expect next? We expect the markdown in this case. And where are we looking for on this one? Probably somewhere ultimately between about 72.5 cent to 70.5 cent actually over time. It's not going to be happening this week, obviously, but over the next couple months, I'll be looking for that. Anyways, you're asking about a daily. I'm on a weekly right now, so perhaps that's not relevant to you. If I'm on a daily right here, here's what I'd essentially say. There's no reason to be bullish on this thing as long as it's below about 76 cent, whatever this last local high is right here on a daily closing base. And this is actually like a really good example of a Wyckoff distribution. This one's almost a little bit too perfect, but this is also why I think Forex is just generally speaking better to trade. It just operates very technically. And what do we see right here? This would be kind of like your line in the sand, right? Maybe you're even looking at this as a head and shoulders, which I don't know if I'd say it was, but more importantly, what happens if you break the neckline right here? Well, we retest it pretty much perfectly and immediately reject. That's exactly picture perfect is what you're looking for on a rejected throwback. So ultimately I'd be looking for further downside. Now, do we try a bounce off of the, off of the prior low right here? Perhaps yes. Maybe we go down to like an hourly to see this. Yeah, possible on an hourly. It really wouldn't take too much to get this one to bounce back up, even back around like 75 cent or so. But overall, daily and higher term time frames are all bearish as long as we're below about 75.9 region. Weekly, I think it's a lot more obvious here. This one looks like it wants to really drop out the bottom coming into next week. And monthly is very, 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 very likely to at least come down to about 73.3 region for another bounce. And then realistically, do things stop there after a bounce? Probably not. This is just another macro lower high in the monthly. Aussie dollar looks like it's not gonna be having the best time. And, we do see that Dixie is having, a good reversal right now. So it's not the time to be bidding against the dollar, in my opinion. There will very likely be some sort of a short-term pullback on the monthly. But that's just going to be an opportunity to get out of positions, in my opinion. This one very likely rallies back up to like 94, 95 bucks over the next half year to a year. I would still say that long term, this probably does come down, but for right now, this is long term. This thing can go on for this is, if it is going to come down, it's not coming down like this year. It's probably going to happen like next year at earliest. I mean, this is the monthly right here. These things do not move fast. It's not like Bitcoin. So it's just going to be like the slow molasses of death against the dollar for a bit of time. Anyways, moving on. What else do we have? We got Justin Tafoya. Hey, Krown. Hope all is well. All is well right now, or at least as well as it can be, I suppose. Bot algo question. Sure. How does MicroStrategy and Tesla have such similar price action? Okay, that's actually a really good question. Well, I would actually take that even one step further. Most things do have very similar price action. So Tesla is what? It is a tech, right? Kind of. It's kind of a car company, kind of a technology company. But what is Tesla's like real business? I mean, they're kind of like in the business of like creating, batteries, from what I understand. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm not like a good source of like information for fundamentals of stocks, especially ones that I don't follow too much myself. But that's how I understand it. Tesla is essentially like in the business of creating batteries and kind of optimizing that. So I consider that a technology, plays with Nasdaq, and then of course MicroStrategy is basically a Bitcoin ETF, which is essentially kind of a financial, but more or less a tech as well. So both of them are going to kind of play within the same guise of that. And I imagine you'd probably find a lot similar price action to what we see in NASDAQ as well. So let's actually go and see if that's true. I'm curious what MicroStrategy is looking like. I actually haven't looked at it in a bit of time. Yeah, it looks pretty damn similar. Short term, I suppose. On a daily, completely different on a daily, to be fair. But what about Tesla? Imagine Tesla and MicroStrategy look very similar right here. Yeah, very, very similar. I mean, what's a real reason that they play together? It's because they're very likely they're kind of looked at in the same sector. Bots and algos, be damned. That's more like sector related, in my opinion. But more or less, things just in general kind of move together anyways. So I think we are kind of at the precipice of like a major decision in these markets, though, because you do see on the bear side, what do you have? You potentially have your next major lower high in place here, and what do you be putting in? A descending triangle, which would obviously be distribution over a long period of time. I mean, this could take another couple months to resolve itself, of course. And by the same token, if we are going to accumulate this region and actually prove itself, then what do we expect? We'd expect this one to continue on with the rally from its current posturing and head back above about 705 region, and then stab back up to the towards the top side of the range, and that all of a sudden looks pretty damn good. Yeah, you do bring up a really good question, but it's actually less related to bot and algos and more related to, I imagine, the sector that they're in. The way that the order of operations goes typically, or at least the way that I learned, is it starts with like major indices first. So that's your SPY, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, et cetera, et cetera. Then you got, of course, like then of course you got your sector, and then you got your stock. So these whatever sort of umbrella that it falls under, that matters more, and you generally kind of move in the same motion of that, mostly guided by the indice that it falls under, for the most part. Not always. This is like a general guideline in the way that I learned. Anyways, hopefully that answered your question, because I know that you thought it was something to do with bot and algos. I mean, everything is bot and algos, right? Because like 90% of trading that goes on is bot and algos. I think that's kind of like a misnomer, though. They're just doing what humans program anyways. The real reason why they're likely trading together is because they're like kind of assumed as very, very similar sort of fundamentally speaking companies, I suppose. Spiros83 says, morning Mr. K and Mrs. E. What's up, man? Most people are still expecting lengthening market cycles with Bitcoin maturing. Doesn't look like it anymore, right? Okay, so the question or the statement basically is, people are looking for the market cycles of Bitcoin to lengthen over time because it's a maturing asset, and I generally agree with that. But here's the thing: is a cycle over? Well, it depends what time frame you put that on, right? So in this case right here, technically speaking, the monthly is in an uptrend as long as Bitcoin is, above the last high or low. This is not going to be helpful, by the way, but to put in perspective, where's our last high or low? 6,500. So realistically, Bitcoin can come back down to $20,000 and still be in a monthly uptrend at this point. And what would you say to that? I mean, it's like, does that really help to understand the market cycle? Not really, because we could still drop out like more than 50% from this region and still remain within a monthly uptrend. So how do you kind of relate that? I don't know. And honestly, I don't think it like matters. And this is why kind of I've been very avoidant of the discussion. Is Bitcoin in a bull market or a bear market? I don't think it fucking matters, because as a trader, you can't just hold something that's down 50% and say, hey, I'm doing a good job today. It's like, fuck no, man, that's ridiculous. That's a career-ending move in most cases. If you're a long-term investor, I'd say the same thing as well. I mean, if you're going to hold 50% drawdown because bull market, bro, it's like that's not a winning strategy long term. You might get lucky here and there, but there's a lot of complacency within this market. And actually, I do pay attention to like CNBC sometimes, and the general sort of the general sort of thought process there is that, look, Bitcoin always has these mega drawdowns, and it always pops back up, so I'm just gonna hodl, is kind of like the general thought process there from the people that they have on. And I mean, it is true, yes, but still, does that make sense from a financial maximization like perspective? Fuck no, it doesn't, man. Like, just because we've done that in the past does not mean that it's like going to be the best way to do it. Also doesn't mean that has to do it in the future as well, although I think it will end up doing it in the future. But more importantly, okay, we need to ban Vita there. Please, hey, Elsa, do your goddamn job, for the love of God. Sir, your job is to do the fucking comments right now. Yeah, let's get rid of this person, man. If you're gonna spam, sorry, you have to leave. Elsa, not at the helm right now. Very bad. Anyways, yeah, man, we've already spoke about Dixie, man. Look, Dixie's fucking going up. It's not stopping anytime soon. I already spoke about it as well. Anyways, I hope that kind of answers your question, because realistically, I don't think that it matters. I don't think that it matters. If you're a trader, you can't just say the market cycle is going to be longer, so I'm going to hold here. It's like, no, I don't think that works out. We could come down significantly further and still be, technically speaking, in a macro uptrend. So fair enough. And I mean, if we expect it to lengthen it versus it not, I mean, we have to trade what's in front of us. And the fact of the matter is, we're just not seeing that right now. That's kind of my point. Serperator, what's up, man? It's been a while. Mara Daily Weekly. Yes, let's look at this. This is going to be a Bitcoin miner, I believe. Is that true? Or maybe it's just a hodler. Actually, it doesn't look all that bad on the monthly. This would be another good one for kind of suggesting that Bitcoin maybe is not done long term. We'd expect to be coming back down below about 20 and a quarter before this one truly turns out to be bearish. And right now, it's actually holding up relatively well. Monthly was a decent bounce back up. Looks like I have way too many things on this chart, so let's just make a new one, because we really only need a couple trend lines right here. One right there, one right there. Kind of baking and consolidating. I do have a general bullish bias as long as it is between these regions right here. Obviously bearish if it does break below about 19 bucks, and you can start to look for major pullbacks to like 6.5. But long term, man, the monthly is not bad. The monthly is not bad, actually. Right here, this thing could easily come back down to like 19 and a quarter and still be long-term fine. I would be looking for a bounce there first and foremost, and anything, any sort of a weekly closure above 39 bucks or 38.5 bucks, I'd be looking for this one to, retest prior highs in this run and very likely make a run towards prior time highs, 129 or so. This would actually be a damn good indication that maybe this market is a little more healthy than what we do see. But I'm curious, is this a miner or not? Let's look at like an actual miner. What's an actual Bitcoin miner? I'm pretty sure Mara is a miner. Oh, there he is. Nice kitty. Meow, sir. Let's see. Okay, what I used to know like all these fucking ones. Maybe we should check out GBTC as well. I'm curious what this one looks like too, just because I wouldn't have expected that on Mara. Yeah, GBTC looks a lot more like Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Mara that's actually a good sign. You expect your miners to be doing relatively well. If the market's going to be more or less healthy. GBTC looks a little bit more bearish than spot price action, so that is interesting as well. I think they have like a big unlock coming up too. All right, anyways, moving on, we got Gemini Athlete MMA says, hey Krown, can you check out rig stock one in daily, please? Okay, symbol RIG, and I guess it's this one right here, or is it some sort of very highly esteemed cryptocurrency? No, it's not. Okay, thank the Lord. Okay, so you're looking at 1 hour and daily. Okay, well, the monthly looks like it's gotten beat up quite a fair bit. Hourly is trending up, looking good. Where's the next major area? Well, can't even see it on the chart right here. Here we go. We need to go to the daily for this. Yeah, I do think that it extends around a little bit more towards about 5 and a quarter first before playing out a little bit more of a pullback. Long term though, I actually kind of like it here. This is not bad, but I would give it some time to kind of consolidate after hitting about 5 and a quarter or so. Long term, is a reversal real? Yes, it does look like a decent reversal, but goddamn, this is a shitcoin of a chart long term. So I would not, I'd still be skeptical of it. But yeah, this is some decent price action right here. Look, if it does take out that 5.25 region, and I think that it will based off the weekly, which you did not ask for, but I think is relevant, I'd be looking at a run back up towards about $7 or so. Here's what the real chart looks like, which is really fucking ugly chart, man. Like really fucking ugly chart. But we do see some interesting signals going on down here. So short term, a little bit more extension, probably pull back around that region, and then we'll see if that pullback gets reaccumulated and then tries towards the $7 region. Nihal Biat says, could you check out 03 swap, please? Or O for orange. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's just this. Okay, so it does pop up, I suppose. So here we go. Let's see what we got. Okay, barely any history on it. What time frames are you looking at, sir? Well, no time frames given. Not a fan of pump and dump charts that look like this. A lot of bullshit going on right there, it looks like. But well, yeah, there's still some more bullshit going on right here. I'd be looking for this one short term to come back down to about 395 region. You do see a nice obvious support trend line coming in right around there. You do see your obvious resistance coming in right around here. And I'd just be looking for it to, at best, bake between this area for a while with next move to the downside first. Long term, I'm not a fan of this chart. It is quite literally a pump and dump for the information that we do have. So the second that if it were to break below that prior low, I'd be looking for the full retrace once again. But until then, I'd give it a chance to kind of bake sideways here. Next move very likely to the downside. And then, you know, if you see a good bounce and pop back up to the top side, I probably wouldn't look for a breakout just yet. At very best, it's probably going to hold sideways for a while, and then maybe if Bitcoin, you know, flips back around, then this thing probably follows too. But as of right now, you know, best case scenario, I'd just be looking for sideways for a while. Really not too much history there, so I don't feel too confident with that one, I should say as well. Spencer Smith says, run stock. My friend told me about it. Any frame? Okay, all right. So does your friend have like insider information or something, or did he just say, hey, you should check out this stock? It's called Run, and that's good. That's good, bro. Looking at daily right here, it's okay. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Okay, weekly is a bit of a rejection, yes. Okay, I think the weekly picture is a lot more obvious going on right here. We do have an obvious range going on between about 50, let's just call it $60 to the upside versus about 42 and a half to the downside. And seeing as we just tested the top side of the resistance, I'd probably be looking for this one to work its way back down to the bottom side, somewhere in the upper 40s, somewhere around like 45 to $47 over time. As this will very likely take time, but I do like the monthly here overall. So while I do think this one does probably pull back first, long term I actually do kind of like it. This is not a bad chart long term. Yes, it is a parabolic blow off top, yes, but let's see what it looks like on the log. It's not so bad on the monthly. It's pretty good. This would, like, if Bitcoin bounced this much on the monthly, I would have been, you know, pretty happy to be bullish on it coming into July, but this one looking significantly more healthy in that case. Very short-term time frames. Is this one ready to, you know, it actually does look like it probably test around $60 once again, but I don't think it's ready to like trend back up to the upside just yet. Maybe later this month, but overall this one actually is okay. And you know, as long as it holds this range right here, I generally have a bullish bias. I'm just not necessarily looking for a breakout to the upside from this exact moment. Higher term time frames are generally decent, I would say. Generally decent. Anyways, back on a Bitcoin right here. Still at 32,800, just where I left it. All right, cool. Let's get on to the comments right now, as it looks like I've chewed through all the chatties right there. Okay, let's see. SD Huddle says hit the likes. I'd appreciate that, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's a relatively quiet day today. Nico Senpai says Riot. Yeah, we can look at Riot. So is Riot a miner? I actually never knew. I thought they just kind of put blockchain at the end of their name and started rallying in 2017. That's what it looks like to me. But looking at this one right here, very obviously caught in the range. Again, does look significantly more healthy than Bitcoin on the monthly. If there's one other thing that's making me have a bit of hopium right here, it would be this. The miners are actually doing okay. Yes, it probably does test back down to like 29.25, but long term, this reversal is real, and I'd be looking for it to work back up towards. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's what the real chart looks like. This is garbage. Okay, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable saying that it's going to work its way back up to like $200, but this is good. This is actually good here in comparison to Bitcoin spot. So yeah, it probably does test the downside, but long term, man, I don't have a reason to be bearish on this one as it is. Very long term. I mean, the chart is just god awful, but well, just ignore that for now. I mean, that was, you know, many decades ago or just 1 decade ago. Anyways, Crookface says SPEY on weekly, eyeing an entry around the 21 EMA. Okay, let's check it out. SPEY. All right, this thing right here on Canadian Exchange. Okay, and you're looking at the weekly. I'm on the monthly right now. Monthly looks okay. Weekly looks pretty good too. You're looking at a weekly entry at the 21. I mean, I don't think it's happening anytime soon, but the next time that it does come back down around there, I would look for a little bit of a bouncy bounce, but is that happening anytime soon? I don't know about that, man. This one's kind of off to the races right now. I'm trying to look for some signs of slowing down. I'm not necessarily seeing it on the weekly just yet. The weekly is getting a little more aggressive here, but I think it probably has one more try to the upside. Daily, you know, if daily came back down to like 41 and a half, that's kind of like your line in the sand for looking for this rally to continue. Kind of a weird chart. You can see it doesn't really trade all that much, but I'm kind of split on this one, man. While I do think you'd very likely have a good bounce on the weekly 21, I just don't think that you're getting down there around anytime soon. And realistically, if it came down there from like this current posturing, that would not be a sign of strength. So realistically, I think, you know, best it does short term is like back down to 41 cents and tries for a bounce there. That would actually be the daily 21, funnily enough. And maybe over the next few weeks, the 21 does reach up around that region, but that'd imply like a little bit of sideways, probably a little bit of upside as well from our current posturing, and then maybe come down and test it, which would actually be pretty damn healthy as well. So I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. It's just I don't know if you're like looking for that to happen today. I don't think it's going to be happening today, to put it bluntly. Okay, let me get back on over here. Okay, got that one. All right, back onto the comments as well. Humble pie a day keeps the doctor away. Indeed it does, man, and the market does a very good job of humbling us all. Whenever you're not paying attention, the market will pull your pants down and stick it in very, 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 very aggressively, as we all know, as we all fucking know. Anyways, let's see. All right, hitting like helps the algorithm. You can literally break the algo because YouTube sucks and keeps good people down to override the algo to help your brother. I do appreciate that, man. You know, but you can't. You obviously can't people to do whatever they don't want to do. Venus as a boy says, is sex a good investment? Like a sexual toy? Yeah, actually, I strongly recommend the Fleshlight. It's the #1 sex toy for men. Jamie Mint says, oh nope, he's having a conversation with someone else. Looks like we got a lot of political chats going on here too. Oh dear lord. Anyways, Sandman says, why is DAG so strong? Does anyone know? Any news? Oh dear lord. Let's see. DAG, is this a crypto or is this? Oh my god, it is a fucking crypto constellation. All right, let's see. Why is it so strong? Well, first off, is it strong? Yeah, it's definitely got a different chart than most things in this market. Very impressive, all things considered. Do I know why it's strong? No, I don't know why it's strong, but I can tell you that this one probably is going to beget some more strength. Monthly is powerful. I'd be looking for this one to retest prior all-time highs in this next month or two and probably make new all-time highs. This is a very good chart for the information that we do have. Short term, does it come back down into range like just below 7 cents? Maybe yes, but overall, this is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, sir. Why is that happening? Someone knows something that I do not. That's why it's happening. Joshua M says, it would suck if a stupid network like Bloomberg TV offers Krown a deal and we lose them. That's never going to happen, man. I actually don't need to, like, I'm not hurting for money, to put it bluntly, man. I don't need to. I technically could be retired if I wanted to. I do these streams and I still trade, like, mostly so I have something to do and I truly enjoy it. I mean, like, this is fun, man. If I were to go to Bloomberg or something like that, I imagine like you'd be given a fucking script and you'd be like on a schedule and shit like that. And I just don't feel comfortable with that, and I don't like that. So you never have to worry about that, man. The biggest thing you have to worry about is like YouTube fucking banning me for whatever reason, because they seem to be quite ban happy sometimes, although I haven't really had too many issues with it. But yeah. Anyways, let's see. What else do we have, man? What else do we have? Virgin till doggy hits $1. Let's see. Is that even possible at any point in time? In fact, it would be a good time to go check out. Oh, doggy coin. Oh, he's rolling over. It's only just begun, my friends. It's only just begun to die. Doggy will roll over and come back below 10 cents. It's only just begun to get wrecked. Fuck your doggy coins. Go back to the shitcoin gutter. What do you mean, no? What do you mean I shouldn't sing? I have the voice of an angel, and you're being mean and rude and stomping on my parades. Yeah, you're a hater, sir. You are what known as a hater. You want some tea? Yeah, look at these fucking witch nails right there. It's like that's what she fucking screams when she's riding on her broom. Disgusting. Michael Crook says, "Hey Krown, check out AUUD stock. It looks like a cup and handle one day." All right. AUD audio on Nasdaq. Yeah, pretty good. Is it a cup and handle? No. Maybe on an hourly. No, not. It's just an uptrend. It's good. I mean, you don't need to put a fucking name on this one, man. It's good. I like it. Trending up typically continues to trend up. I'll probably be looking for this one to stab around the prior highs again. Bullish as long as it's above about 560 short term. Very nice. Very nice. It's good to see a nice healthy chart every once in a while. Although I don't know. I don't necessarily know about this lack of trading volume going on right there. But fair enough. What's up, Shahar? He has an LOL. What are you laughing at, sir? How does she wipe her butt with those? Actually, that's a very good question. We have bidets here, so we remain clean. It's actually a really good question, man, because, you know, ever since I moved to Europe, I can't imagine ever going back to America for the simple fact that bidets are not like normal there. And if you shake hands with people, then you have to be wondering, like, what the fuck, man? You just wiped your shit with a piece of like paper and you said, that's all good, no problem. Look, if you had a piece of shit on your hand or on your head, would you just wipe it off with a piece of paper and say, all good, let's just go back about our business right now? No, maybe, probably not. American Idol ticket, nice. All right, we're into American Idol. I'm in, baby. I'm bringing my doggy coin tunes to Simon Cowell. You use your fingers to wipe your bunghole, says Elsa. That's actually a good point. You probably don't want to stick those things in the sphincter. It is very, very bad. Tony Dillon says, any chance of a quick peek at IRR on London Stock Exchange? Okay, let's check it. Yeah, we can check it out, man. It's a very slow day today. Looking like a good breakout right here. Daily, good volume on that. Yes, it is a bit of a sloppy falling channel breakout, but it's okay. Short-term pullback, maybe back down to like 21.9, $22, but I do like the reversal here, and it's not. I mean, the reversal happened over here, but this is stair-stepping its way up. This is very good. Long-term, I'd be looking for it to pop up somewhere around $30 to $31 or so. It looks pretty damn good long-term. Serperator. Serperator says IWM. Oh, IWM. Yeah, let's look at this one. What is this? Mid-caps, I believe. Yeah, Russell 2000. Good. Very good. Very fucking. This one's consolidating at a very high level. It's an obvious sending triangle right here, and I'd be looking for continuation targets. Looks like I've already kind of mapped them up from prior days at around 250-ish region, maybe 250 to 260-ish region long term. This looks very good. Very healthy. Well, I don't know if I'd say healthy consolidation. This is like a really aggressive chart to the upside, but we're probably in like the last month. We're probably in like the last 3 to 4 months of this straight up market before another like 10 to 20% correction. But this one has another leg up. It looks very good, very fucking good. Let's see. MO stock week month, please. Says Michael Chaney. Sure, we can look at that. MO is this? Yeah, this Ultra. So this is the cigarette one. Is that right? What are we looking at right here? Good reversal right here. Man, it must have been a long time since I've done this chart. I apparently had a descending broadening wedge, which did eventually break out to the upside. Hey, not bad. You can make a measure move on this. I would like to see if it's actually already hit this or not. Kind of a sloppy one, but perhaps there is more. Yeah, I would suggest that there's more long-term, probably back up to about 58, $59. That also is consistent with your next major level to the upside. I'd be looking for a bit of sideways consolidation right here. I'd generally be bullish on this one long-term as long as it holds the current low structure about $46. Currently about $2 above right now, so overall okay. I don't have any major issues with it long term. I do think that it has another upside move. Let's see, momentum oscillators are more or less suggestive of another, another try to the upside long term. Okay, all right. What else do we got over here? Sorry, just joined short-term Bitcoin prediction. Sir, I don't do predictions, and sir, you can always rewind the videos so that other people don't have to listen to the same fucking 30 minutes of content 2 times, man. Hopefully that is hopefully that is done in a respectful way. But yeah, man, it's all there for you. I haven't deleted it. It's it's there, settled in YouTube for forever, man. DPLS daily weekly. Sure, DPLS. DPLS. Dark Pulse. Okay, this is interesting. Very cool name, actually. Pretty good chart, actually. I'm usually not a big fan of OTC bullshit, but this is fine. This is good. Freshly breaking out right here. We do have a bit of a formation going on. I can just kind of extrapolate a bit of a target from this, and I imagine we're very close. Actually, we've already hit it. I do think this one has more to go, though, on this current trend. We do see next major area of interest, about 14.5 cent or so. Weird chart, you know, long term, very weird chart, but yeah, short term, I do like it. Robin Moore says, you know, there is trust in the relationship if you trust your junk with Edward Scissorhands over there. Yeah, there's I have a few stories about that, man. It's not good, and it makes me cringe every time. It's like, fucking God, get those knives away from my sack, sir. Dangerous, very dangerous. Krown, are you saying there is no toilet paper in your house? We do have toilet paper. We just also have a bidet, so it's a multi-pronged effort there to clean your Anguses. All right, let's see what else I can find here. Let's see. Yeah, Steve, there isn't a more sincere tone. There is a scroll back function, so you can always go back to like the first. Usually it starts around like 10-15 minutes for Bitcoin specifically. Can you check Truebit, ticker True? Okay, like 2 chains. I'm guessing it's something like this. Is it this TrueFi? I don't know. Let's just type in Truebit. Oh, nothing's coming up. It looks like it doesn't exist, man. So unfortunately, no. Netflix, yeah, let's check out Netflix. It's NFLX. I've never actually traded Netflix myself. Nasdaq, okay. What do we see here on the weekly? Looking good. Looking very, very good. Nice, healthy consolidation for the past. Hey, what the fuck? For the past year. Holy shit. This one's been consolidating in a range for a year. Looks like it wants to test back up towards 550-ish region. Is it ready to break to new highs? This month, I don't know about that, but over the next quarter, so yeah, I would be looking for new highs here. You have a very clean ascending triangle at a very high level. Let's see, I just need 2 trend lines right here, realistically. It's a lot more obvious on a monthly, to be fair. And do we have a measure move to be made? Yes, we do. Probably somewhere around, yeah, just barely on new highs, and probably does continue from there. Looks good. $600 over the next few months, most likely. Looking very, very nice. I imagine we probably even have hidden bullish evidence on that last low. We do, and that's on a monthly, so that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Crypto thinks it's Wyckoff. I mean, you can think whatever it is, but it doesn't change the reality. Hopium is Hopium at this point, and it's not going to change, you know, price action at the end of the day. I mean, look, man, it's you could think it's Wyckoff, but if it's Wyckoff distribution as of right now. There's nothing in the volume profile that suggests that this is accumulation as of this moment. If this is going to turn around to be accumulation, Bitcoin would need to hold here without breaking $30,000 for the next 2 months, I'd say, and then maybe you could start to say this is looking like accumulation, but not right now. This is literally opposite of what you'd be looking for. You see how thick the volume profile is above the midpoint of this region, like $36,000, exactly where we got rejected, by the way, too, or a little bit lower than that, but that would be the volume profile of distribution first and foremost. You're getting all your selves over here, and then it's pretty light as far as the buy zone goes, or what would be the buy zone if that is. We've already looked at Doggy, and Doggy looks like absolute shit, as usual. So you probably don't want my opinion on it again, because I'll just literally talk all kinds of garbage about it. In fact, you know what? Let's just go shit on it one more time. Oh, nice. We got the rolling over. Do you want to hear the song? Elsa says no. I don't know if I can do it 2 times in a row on the same stream. This is bad, man. Dog looks like absolute dog shit. This thing, I would be surprised if this thing ever goes back above 70 cents ever again. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'd be very surprised if this thing goes back above 70 cents anytime within like the next 3 years. Put it that way. Yes, song. Take a look at Amazon. Yeah, we can do that. Mario. AMZN. Okay. See what Amazon's doing. Oh, this is what a good chart looks like. See, Doggy Coin is not looking like this, and this is a very good chart. So what does that mean Doggy Coin is? Well, it means that it's a bunch of manipulation, sir. Can Amazon have another move back down to like 32.50? Maybe yes, but long term, I'm still looking for new highs here. If you're on the monthly, weekly is grind out the highs once again. I don't know if it's ready to break to new highs from here, but weekly momentum oscillators do say that probably sometime this month we do get a try towards new highs. Looks very good, man. Looks very, very good. This is one of the best charts in the whole world. Again, absolutely ridiculous over a long period of time. This is what the real chart looks like. At some point, we will see this thing have a massive, massive correction, but it's not right now. In fact, we already kind of had our massive correction right here. If you're looking at it in this venue, we had about a 20% correction, which is actually very, 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 very hefty in traditional markets. In fact, if to make a corollary between this, a 20% correction in traditional markets is like the same thing as like a 50 to 70% correction in Bitcoin. If you will. What's up, Yao, Mr. CMB? Hi, sir. Hi, Krown sirs. How you doing, man? Just wish you and Sirza Elsa a good day. Hey, man, you too. Thank you for that. And also, when will you accept your baldness, Pete Tuckman hairstylist? Fuck no, man. I'm not accepting my baldness, sir. Jesus Christ. Can't you see all this goddamn hair on my face? I get shit on so much for that. It's starting to make me hate myself, man. Just another hair joke and I'll probably kill myself. One more hair joke and I fucking hang myself. How about that? They would have to fork Doggy to make it useful. I don't think that I think that any sort of talks about Doggy coin like being made into a useful token is it's kind of like past its due date. You know, it's too tethered to the name in my opinion. But I don't know, maybe that's a naive perspective on my own end. At the end of the day, man, the chart is as the chart is and it looks like absolute shite. Spider-Man says, hey, Krown, how's Matic looking today? Actually, that's a very, we should definitely look at Matic. Another one of the darling of the markets from the past cycle, but yeah, another one that's very clearly bearish, very fucking clearly bearish here. You could have made you could have made an excuse for it back on over here last month, which I think that, you know, it was the right thing to do after breaking below 135. No, this is not good. If Bitcoin salvages itself one more time at $30,000 level, maybe it tries for a bounce of like 90 cents or so. This is not the picture of health and fitness right here. This is literally looking like a bubble chart. It's not looking good. Long term, you know, maybe if Bitcoin breaks below $30,000, which I'm not saying it is right now. In fact, I don't think it will right now. But long term, if Bitcoin were to break below $30,000, I'd be looking for this one down around like 40 cents or so. Again, tethered to whatever Bitcoin does, but right now, I mean, this is, you know, just follow the trend right here. There's no reason to be bullish on something that's in a downtrend. You know, this one's in a downtrend, especially as long as below about 1.25, and this is about 20 cents below that level at this moment. 4 hours looking, it's looking like a box is what it's looking like, but we are on the bottom side of the box, and volume's actually increasing right now to the downside, which is more indicative that this one's maybe a little more mature within this current consolidation and actually could break down from its current posturing. But again, I think it matters more what Bitcoin does in this case. So we'll see. We'll see how Bitcoin responds at like the low 32 or maybe 31,500-ish region. Okay, all right. Zeo Storm says, is the Dixie chart being this bullish part of is the Dixie chart being this bullish part of the reason Bitcoin is falling? They seem correlated. Okay, so a lot of people have been doing a lot of analysis on this, and I think it's actually very misguided in a lot of ways. Look, yes, Dixie is bullish here, but if you're looking at Dixie to play opposite of Bitcoin, you're going to be inevitably wrong, and you have a very bad assumption based off first principles. What do I mean by that? Dixie's the fucking dollar measured against other fiat currencies. So you can very easily have a situation where, you know, you're printing more dollars, which technically would appreciate the price of assets. But because Dixie is measured against other fiat currencies, if other countries were to print more of their own, you know, native currencies, then you'll, print more in relationship to the dollar, what America is doing, then Dixie will naturally go up. So it's like you can have a situation where both go up, but, you know, people are making a bit more of a deal out of this than what I think really deserves. Yes, it does matter, and yes, it can be a bit of an insight into what's going on. But you really want to be looking at the monetary supply, if anything, which I actually forgot the ticker for, which kind of sucks. But this one right here, yeah, you know, it is bullish right now, and you could presume that it is going to put downward pressure on price action. But I see a lot of people literally looking at the fucking hourly chart for Dixie and being like, okay, Dixie's going up now. I need to be short on Bitcoin. It's like, fuck, dude, man, you are going to lose a shit ton of money that way over time. Yeah, it might work out a few times here and there, but for the people who really harp on this, I'd really want to sit them down and ask why, not to belittle them, just out of curiosity. You know, why do you think it works like this? Have you not looked at what the contract details tell you? I mean, it's not even a contract detail. I don't even think that you can trade Dixie. In fact, maybe you can. It does seem like it's on ice, but I I'll just be generally inquisitive of that. Anyways, if Dixie was going to put in a lower high, it would have done it. It would have already done it right here on the weekly. In fact, we just took out last week's high, which to me means, yes, we are still technically below the prior high, but this is where you would have expected your lower high to come from if this was going to come back down to the downside and continue on with the macro downtrend. And in fact, we don't see that right now. We see a weekly reversal, very likely in progress. We have a higher low on the weekly right here, coming back up to this region right here. That's not fucking bearish. In my opinion, short term, it might have a little bit of a sell off from there. That's fine. But if we take a Fibonacci retracement for this from the prior high, I mean, on a closing basis, we're already above, even we're right at the 886, which, yeah, sometimes you do see rejections around there, but they're not, those are not the big ones. I mean, you don't let price action get that close to your prior high if you really want to be short on this thing. So yeah. That's what I'd say about that. Overall, Dixie, I'd be looking for it to make a run up towards 93.5 probably this year, and into next year I'd probably be looking for it to continue with a rally to 95, and maybe around 95 or 96 bucks you do see the next like macro lower high. That's possible in like a quarterly or something, but for right now and for the foreseeable future, I don't think that that's what's happening. And also to my point, just for the reason that I think a lot of people are like misguided on this. Look, Dixie was falling from April to May. It was falling like pretty significantly right here, right? Like very significantly, in fact. What was Bitcoin doing from April to, realistically like March, end of March, beginning of April to all the way in May? Bitcoin was falling. It was putting in a top. So you would have expected Bitcoin to be making new all-time highs when that was happening. That thesis just doesn't hold up when you actually look at the fucking data. And that's kind of my point with that. Even over here, I mean, from January 2021 to March 2021, what was Bitcoin doing? It was rallying from like fucking 30,000 to 60,000. What was Dixie doing? It was rallying as well. I mean, it's kind of a bad way to be looking at things. And while it sounds smart and it sounds sophisticated, it's like, man, I'm looking at the dollar index right now. It just doesn't work out in reality for that way. And you really have to understand what these what this represents. And I think people are misled in that vein. So yeah, please link weekly, monthly. I can look at link for you, man. I can't promise that I'll have anything nice to say about it though. Okay, monthly looks like shit. Has a bit of a range between about 1590 and about low 20s. Weekly is it's literally looking like it wants to come down now. If I was just looking at link, I'd say this market's coming down at this moment. I still think Bitcoin has a chance to kind of salvage itself once again at the low $30,000 territory. But does this thing come back down to like 14 bucks or even like 10 bucks, over the next couple months? It doesn't look like that would be too out of the question here. I mean, this is what the real chart looks like. Take that as you will, man. There's nothing bullish about this chart as long as you're below about 27.5 bucks. I mean, there's even short term, there's nothing bullish about this on a daily as long as you're below this last rejection right here at about 21 and 37 cents. Not good, man. Not good. It's going to depend on whatever Bitcoin does. So again, I think your best hope for Bula-ishness is Bitcoin trying out another bounce pretty much in this low $30,000 territory. So yeah. You just posted a shorts video? I did not. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. So for whatever reason, YouTube has been like sending out my short videos or sending out the notifications for them like a day later, which I don't understand why they do that. So yeah, I don't know how to fix it, but I still think the best way to get notified of the short videos, like as soon as they go up, is by being subscribed and then also doing the old bell thing. If you're already doing that, then I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to reach out to YouTube support just to like ask, hey, how do I like make sure that people actually get this, on time? Because these are like pretty much irrelevant a day after. Anyways, Heavy says, hi, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, man. Hope you're doing well as well. Is there hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour Stokes? No, and I don't really care about divergence on Stokes. I only care about divergence on RSI oscillators. Stoke divergence, if it's not present on RSI as well, I never play it. If it's present on RSI and Stokes, then I will play it, but then it's like, why not just look at RSI anyways? And do we have hidden bullish divergence on 4-hour RSI? We can't. And by definition, you can't even have 4-hour bullish divergence on hidden bullish divergence, that is, on oh yeah, you said hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, it cannot be hidden bullish divergence by definition on any oscillator right now because we are in a downtrend on the 4-hour. You can only have hidden divergence in the same direction as the trend. So for a downtrend, that obviously has to be on your lower highs, and on an uptrend, that obviously has to be on your higher lows. In this case right here, we have a downtrend already going on, so you can't have that as of the current moment. What you could have is regular bullish divergence, but we also don't see that anyways. So it's kind of like a moot point no matter which way you kind of measure it right now, unfortunately. And yeah, sorry, man. Shorty Shrew says, if notifications aren't working, try turning off notifications and hitting the bell again. That worked for me. Okay, cool. Okay, so that seems like it's an easy fix there. If you're a member of the generational elite, I really do not like these sort of discussions, man. I don't like this whole idea of like there's an elite that is controlling the world. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't fucking care, man. I don't want to live my life like that because it just makes you feel like you're powerless to make a change, and you're in a lot more power and you have a lot more responsibility than what you might believe. This is why I really dislike, you know, these sort of doom and gloom channels like fucking I don't know if Tim Pool counts as one, but he kind of strikes me as that type of guy. Or like an Alex Jones. Look, man, I don't care if there is fucking lizards or not. You know what? I hope that there are goddamn shape-shifting lizards that are, you know, controlling the world. I don't want to think of that as like, you know, what controls my life. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Doesn't fucking matter though, because you still have so much autonomous control of your life anyways, that sort of shit is just it's just a fucking distraction. Anyways, I'll read your question. Okay, if you remember the generational elite, would you want people showing the low how to make bank? Yes, no, because I literally hate poor people, and whenever I go outside, I fucking kick hobos. Look, man, anyone who has a fucking modicum of a brain knows that you're only as good as your weakest link. And if you have more losers in the world, then it's just going to make it worse for you. Like, this is why I strongly believe in this idea of selfish altruism. You should naturally, logically want the best for people, even people who are like fucking assholes to you, of which, you know, I know certainly a few for myself. You should actually want the best for them because you know that if they can get into a good state, then it's going to be better for you and the whole world in general. And can that come with like solving financial problems? Yes. In fact, most of the rich people that I've known, and I don't know if you'd call them like the generational elite. I don't even know if there is a such thing as that. But most of those people, like, they are pretty fucking good people and very, 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 very generous with their wealth. And if they probably thought, or if they thought that like actually giving more money of theirs away would actually help other people, then they probably do it. But the unfortunate reality is that just blindly giving other people money does not help them. You need to teach them these skills onto what actually helps them make money in the first place, because you need to have a character change. And this is why, you know, I'd be very skeptical of something like universal basic income, for example, because, you know, yeah, you are in some way kind of freeing people up to do more of what they want, but at the same time you take away the struggle, which is really what we as humans thrive off of, to actually have good feelings and good emotions. You know, where do our good feelings and good emotions come from? It comes from essentially setting out a goal and making progress towards that goal. Not even necessarily meeting the goal itself, but making progress towards the goal is where you get your good feelings from. That's where you feel like you're on your path. And that's why most people, and I'd include myself in this as well, when they say like, you know, they made whatever they wanted to make, it was the process of actually doing that was the fun part. And it kind of got boring after they did accomplish that, and they kind of had to find new ways to challenge themselves. That's kind of what I do with these YouTube videos here, man, is like, I don't need to do these, but it gives me something to do on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, sometimes, you know, certainly sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right, but it gives me something to like, you know, work at and over time get better at. And that's where, you know, my good feelings come around from today. So yeah, man, I strongly disagree with that sort of stuff, because, you know, would do the generational elite, if there even is one, want the poor people to be poor? Fuck no, man. That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Do you want to be the one rich person when everyone else is poor? No. Look at what fucking happened in Russia when you were considered like the elite. You got thrown into a goddamn gulag. It's not going to be safe if you're the one rich person and everyone else is fucking on the streets. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I think that sort of mentality doesn't just, it only hurts yourself, because it just gives you an excuse as to like why you aren't where you want to be, instead of like actually just taking some actionable steps towards it. And look, I'm not not aware that some people are just dealt a really shitty hand in life. Yes, we are dealt with, you know, what we're dealt with, but we can always at least make progress from that area. And just making progress from that area is just a relative to like where you started. Like, that's good enough, man. That's good enough. And that's typically what we base our actual internal happiness off of anyways. So yeah, man, I'd actually really disagree with that, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to like shit on you or anything like that, because I understand that this is like, you know, a somewhat reasonable conclusion to come to if, you know, if you haven't really thought about it. But I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I think that that's like really something that you know, anyone who's put any thought into that whole interplay, I think that you will naturally, logically always find that you literally have to want the best for other people. Like, that's why I actually wish everyone the best, and the happiest at the beginning of these streams. First off, it's fucking free to do, and second off, it really doesn't take away anything from yourself. And in fact, if anything, it probably helps. It probably comes around in some way, which I think is even better. Okay, cool. Let's see. Zeostorm says, check total altcoins chart. Yeah, we actually looked at the total 2 already, but we can look at alt perp if that one looks any different. Let's see. I'm actually very curious to see this. So this one trades on FTX. How much history do? Oh yeah, we have plenty of history here. Actually, this is very interesting. Yeah, looks like the same shitcoin chart that we did see on total 2 though. So you know, good call on that, man. Does not look good right here. You know, if there's one thing that's making me think that Bitcoin will break $30,000 from this exact moment, it would be this. Well, maybe not this exact moment, but like over the next couple of weeks here, it would be this. This is like, this is literally textbook fucking bubble chart right here. The one thing that's making me hesitant on this is that it's so picture perfect and so obvious. It's like, maybe it doesn't play. You know, that's what happens half the time in Bitcoin land, especially. It's like you think you have the most obvious signal, and then it just doesn't play out, or it plays opposite. In this case right here, I mean, this is pretty bad looking. I'm trying to find an excuse for it, but even the daily just got rejected again. I mean, god damn, man. God damn. I guess you can make an excuse for it. Hey, as long as we hold 2,800 or 2,800, okay. But I don't feel that way, man. Again, it's going to be up to Bitcoin in my opinion, but Bitcoin showing any weakness is going to be below $30,000 is going to be met with absolute destruction for a lot of altcoins. I think Nimbo pulled out or pointed out the 2-hour jewel. Yeah, it does seem to be kind of curling back down around here, so a little bit of downside pressure short term. I don't know if that's enough to break $30,000, so I do think Bitcoin probably tests around 31.5 or $32,000. I mean, we've kind of already got pretty damn close there already, but I still don't think that we're necessarily ready to break. But hey, if it breaks, it breaks, and get ready for Goblin Town, baby. I'm excited, man. The question is, where could we be bullish on alts again for people who are in stables? Okay, so where can you be bullish on alts again? I'd actually say that looking at altcoin perp chart is not what you want to be looking at to be bullish on altcoins. The market has always been and will always be, until this changes, be based off of Bitcoin's strength. If Bitcoin's weak, the general market's going to be weak. Yes, there's going to be an outlier here or there, of course, but if you're just talking about in general altcoins, there's very rarely a situation for like a prolonged period of time where you can be bearish on Bitcoin and bullish on altcoins. So I'd say your best bet for looking for potential, you know, strength in altcoins, if there is going to be waiting for Bitcoin to show some strength. So currently speaking, you know, you kind of probably already know my thoughts on Bitcoin as far as like the higher term timeframes go. I think best case scenario, we play like sideways above $30,000 for the next 2-3 months. If that were to happen, that would start to look okay. And then maybe, you know, around September, October, altcoins become a little bit more enticing, but it's going to very likely be led by Bitcoin. At some point, that relationship probably does loosen a bit. You know, it'd be naive to say that we're always going to have this relationship, but it's been this way for, you know, 11, 12 years now. And it's just not wise to, you know, call a reversal in that relationship before we actually have proof of that, which we don't as of now. And it can go on for another 10 years for all we know before that actually does happen. What's up, Boiler Room? Appreciate that, man. Nice, nice avatar there, sir. Steve Case wanted to ask about the thing where you teach us fin moving pictures where you have sensible hair, but I keep getting denied by filter. Wait, what the fuck? Us fin moving pictures. Wait, fin moving? I don't know what that means. Where you have sensible hair, but I keep getting denied by filter. I don't know what I don't know what that's actually in reference to, but I fear it's the last joke, man. It's done. I'm fucking necking after this bitch. And I'm gonna say on my death notice because of Stevie K. I don't even know if that was supposed to be it anyways. Oh well, man. Hey, what's up, James? Hey, Krown. Wish you the best from the UK. James, is that you, sir? I really catch your streams these days, but it's always a pleasure when I'm up early enough. Yeah, man. I know we do this quite early, and I believe we're either like 2 or 3 hours ahead of you over there in the UK, man. But if I recall last time, you told me that you live in Brighton. Man, I really, really want to check that area out at some point. It does seem like it'd be a good little cool town in what's it called in England. Mr. There he is, the plums master himself. Krown, can you give me advice about the rash of my plum and also financial advice? Financial advice about the rash of your plum. I don't know, just wrap it in a bunch of euros and you're good to go, sir. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. The rash in your plums, I don't know, you should get it checked out. Or it might just be a sign of a good time. Who knows? Most STDs won't kill you nowadays anyways, so you probably have very little to worry about, sir. Hopium is on the 1 hour jewel, says Nimbo. All right, let's check it out. What is the 1 hour jewel saying right now? A little bit of hopium there, I guess. I suppose, could kind of level out a bit. It's pretty fucking aggressive there. I don't know, man. It's a little bit far-fetched for right now, but even the hourly trend, I mean, it's like as long as you're below 33.8, it's like you play that at your own peril. Above 33.8, yeah, we probably see another rally, another I don't know, a couple $1,000 to the upside, back above 35 or so. That could be your next move into the deeper 30s for now. I don't know if I'd be looking at that from this exact posture right here. I still think Bitcoin probably heads a little bit lower first and then tries for a bouncy. Amarnath is banned. Amarnath? She got banned? What the fuck? Why would they ban her? Terrible. When fire. Hey, what's up, Lucifer? I was actually planning on doing a bunch of Twitch streams this week, but this week's been very busy with like doing a bunch of house looking and stuff like that. So it's been I actually won't be able to do it today as well because we're gonna go see another house, but maybe certainly over the weekend I'll be doing a stream. So we'll do some firebombs soon, sir, and I look forward to seeing you there, man. We'll get the old Warhammer out too, man. Gonna be really, really cool. Super Writer says, Sol USD daily weekly, please. Sure. All right. SOL. So this is the one that's kind of like wrapped up with FTX, I believe. And I'm curious to see how this one's doing. Doesn't look as shitty as most altcoins, but you can see the same sort of lower high perspective over here. This one definitely not as bad as most altcoins, but I suspect it's not going to be safe from any prolonged Bitcoin downside moves as well. I did kind of draw this in last time I looked at it. This would be the bullish view. Maybe it puts in another higher low somewhere around like $29, but the bearish view is, look, we got lower highs and we got same lows right around about $24.5. The second that breaks, we're going for the big bad retrace. But this one is holding up relatively better than most altcoins, but my point is that if Bitcoin does break down here, which I still don't think that it does actually from this exact moment, you'll see this one break down as well. And, it really doesn't have too much holding it up until about like 12, 13, $14. And then below there, it's all there till like $5. But for right now, it's actually holding up better than the strong majority of most altcoins. So that is a good sign. Monthly is not bad. Actually, I think monthly is probably one of the better monthlies that we have in this sector. And daily, while it does look like one's come down, you can still try for a bit of a higher low as we did identify earlier. But if Bitcoin breaks down, it's hard to be bullish on anything, right? This one just would hold up maybe a little bit better than most altcoins. Baby Yoda token has a new project 1000x potential. That sounds legitimate, and that sounds definitely like something you should invest in because they're not talking about the actual fundamentals or actual underlying project. They're talking about how much you can make from it. That's a sign of a very, very good project to hype you into buying it rather than logically convince you through fundamental narratives that it is a legitimate project. Yes, there we go. BNB USDT, please. Sure. Yeah, we can look at CZ shitcoin. Remember, buy at 650. It's a good price. Down, man, looking like shit. Yeah, this is terrible, fucking terrible. Probably coming back down to 260-ish region, break below there, and this thing will really shatter. But again, I don't think that the market's ready. I don't know if the market's ready to break down just yet. But if I am looking at just BNB, I would say yes. This is terrible, absolutely abysmal, absolutely fucking abysmal. God awful monthly, god fucking awful. Very likely coming back down to test around like 220 this month. Pray to Bula Jesus that it does hold up again. This one will not survive on its own. This one is terrible, absolutely fucking terrible. Nothing bullish about it on the higher term time frames as long as it's below about $400. Again, best case scenario is Bitcoin goes sideways and this one just holds onto the lows with dear life at mid to low 200s. All right, let's see. Hey, what's up, Tim Richmond? Thanks, man. Please take a look at VFF Daily Weekly. Okay, VFF. All right, Village Farms. Where do I know this name from? Where do I know this name? Do you have ever drawn on this chart? I have, apparently. Weird. Okay, let's go to the weekly. See what this one's doing. Long term, it's kind of a sloppy chart, but I do respect the the macro uptrend, I suppose. Monthly was okay. I'd probably be looking for this month to trade back up towards about $12 or so. It's more or less going sideways here over the long period of time, but does this one try another upside move somewhere around $12 short term and play within this range for the next few months between about $12 to the upside versus about $7.5 to $8 to the downside? Probably yes, yeah. Kind of a weird chart long term. I mean, it does have it really does pump and dump quite aggressively, but fair enough. Oh, it's a weed chart. Okay, nice. Yeah, weed is interesting. Definitely interesting. Mario Mars says, Krown, got one more. Can you take a look at ARK? Yeah, this is Kathy Woods, right? All right, whoops. Hey, stop that. No, stop it again. There we go. ARKK. Okay, top side of the range looks like it probably does pop back down short term to like 125. Let's go to a monthly. Monthly is good. I actually do like this one for continuation to break the range to the upside, maybe even this month actually, and trade up to like 138, 140-ish region. It's actually a pretty good chart here. So I don't know. Short term, I did say it might pull back short term, maybe based off the monthly. I don't feel as confident in that. The monthly speak in volumes right now though. The weekly, yeah, kind of on the same side as that. Plays out a bit of a range first and then try some upside later this month. But generally speaking, I actually do like this for another try to the upside this month actually. Anywhere between about 137 and 140-ish region is where we're looking towards. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Matthew? Welcome, sir. Welcome to the cave, sir. Rami says, hey, Krown, you think Tesla is playing out the same structure as Bitcoin would if it heads to $45,000 bull trap area? Okay, so I think I understand your question properly, but I might have to reiterate it really quickly here. Okay, so Tesla right here. You're basically saying, is Tesla doing what you think Bitcoin might do? With the bull trap. Okay, if it is, and this is like a big fucking, we're making a lot of assumptions, we're making a lot of like ifs and ands here, but if it is, Bitcoin would be like right here, and you can see that the bull trap would have already happened at about 760-ish region. This would not be your bull trap right here. In fact, this is what I think best case scenario for Bitcoin is, where we go, where we put in a bull trap, come back down, right down to the bottom side of the range, base out again, and just trade sideways for a while. Between the same range essentially. And on a monthly, like this is not a bad chart on a monthly. This one can easily come back down to like 650 and still be fine. In fact, I'd look at that as an opportunity on the first pass. It's a fucking ridiculous chart long term, yes, but it can get a little bit more ridiculous before the inevitable does happen. So if you are making that relationship between it, I actually think that we'd be like right around here getting ready for the bull trap. Then we come back down and hold the lows once again, and the bulls get to survive for a little bit longer. That's essentially what I'd be thinking. But again, a lot of assumptions going on right there. A lot of assumptions. Krown, can you take a look at Matic? We already looked at it. Not good. Very, very much not good. Let's see. With an inverted chart. Oh, sorry, did I miss that? No. Okay, no. He did not say that. Today it is. Oh dear Lord. What the fuck, sir? Sir, you've been reading. Internet's a dangerous place, Mister. Mister. I'll just leave it at that. Surferator says one last one. BRPHF. Okay. BRPHF. Oh, Galaxy Digital. Okay, very interesting. Not good. I think this one plays with Bitcoin more or less, and that looks like a clear and obvious rejection right there. This one's still ranging, as is Bitcoin, but seeing as we just got rejected from the highs, I'd be looking for a test down to the lows now. It's probably somewhere down around like 16.5 to maybe 15.5. Does it hold the lows again? I'd give it a chance to bounce there, definitely. Weekly, yeah, just ranging here. Very likely after you get rejected from your highs, you're probably going to go down and test your lows. I'd be looking for next move down like 15.5 to $16 or so. Ethereum weekly and monthly, please. I can show you Ethereum, man. I think we looked at it earlier, but again, man, not a good chart. Not a good chart right here. Again, another one that's making me more leaning on bearish continuation sooner rather than later. But again, Bitcoin does drive the market, so I would not, if I was just looking at Ethereum, I'd say that, but the fact of the matter is it's just not that way. So short term, does it come back down to like just below $2,000? Probably yes. Like anywhere around 1950 is completely fine. I'd probably be looking for another bounce there too, as I would for Bitcoin. Short-term time frames are bearish as long as you're below about 2150-ish region. Above there, I'd look for a little bit of a rally alongside Bitcoin. Again, easier to watch Bitcoin in general. Yeah, it probably does try for another bounce relatively soonish. But goddamn, man, difficult chart. Had to ask my question through Elsa. Thank you. No problem, sir. No problem. Okay, let's see. I think we're getting to the end of this one right now. Can we look at CAUD USD? Sure. All right, we'll do just a couple more here, and then I'll call it a day. Voice is starting to leave me. All right, here we go. CAUD USD. Bad, very bad, extremely fucking bad. Already at the lows, and Bitcoin hasn't even tested its current lows just yet. So that's going to be, oh my fucking lord, yeah. You got pumped and you got dumped. Next weekly support somewhere down around about just below 10 cents or so. Over the next, sometime this month, I'd be looking for this one to pop down to like, yeah, 9.5 to 10 cents or so. Not good, very fucking not good. Only way that this one salvages itself is if Bitcoin leads it. Extremely bearish as long as you're below 16.25. Extremely fucking bearish as long as you're below 16.25. All right, we'll look at XRP too. I'm curious what this one's looking like. 64.5 cent, not good. Another pretty bad chart overall. Another lower high confirmed. Hidden bearish evidence along the way. 2-day is showing the same thing. Not fucking good. Probably looking for it to grind out the lows once again in the mid 50s or so. Again, whatever Bitcoin does, this one will follow. But short-term downside going to be not interpreted very well by this one. Maybe it tries another bounce from those levels. Again, assuming that Bitcoin does bounce, which I think that it will, but not looking too hot right here. Definitely not looking too hot. Monthly, I'd be looking for another test down to like 55 cents or so. Probably another bounce at 55 cents. All right, we'll do one more. Okay, Polkadot from Matthew Lizzie. Okay, let's see. I think it's symbol DOT. So USD. Hey, do we have second? Hold on. There's we have a member here called named Second Domino, and I think we also have Third Domino. That's do you guys know was that planned? Do you guys know each other? That's actually like pretty cool. All right, we'll do actually we should do it on Binance, I think. we need first domino, second domino, third domino, fifth domino, 10 domino. There we go. Pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. Pretty also bad as well. Jesus Christ, man, it's bad. Also bad. Again, man, whatever. You better hope Bitcoin bounces from like kind of in its current low $30,000 region, because this one's already pretty much fully retraced. So if it retraces anymore, I mean, $10 is going to be your next target for the next base, and then your big base is like 6.25. Very fucking bad. There's nothing bullish about this thing at all whatsoever, as long as you're below about 16.5 bucks. Above 16.5 bucks, you know, you're probably gonna be led by Bitcoin in this case. I'd be looking for a rally back up, maybe around like 20, 21 bucks. Upside's pretty capped here. This is a very abysmal chart, very fucking bad. Definitely not operating at all well. All things considered, definitely relatively weak, I'd say. Yeah, we have second domino and third domino. Isn't that crazy? Hey, what's up, Yasik? Man, Yasik's been killing the markets, man. You sold that at 40. Holy shit. Talk about amazing trade, man. You killed the rally. Hey, you have to blame Yasik now. Yasik is the reason why that thing dumped, because he sold right on your face at the exact fucking top. Nicely done, man. Very, 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 very good job trading. Baby Yoda token, examine, please. No, we're not. I don't even think that this one's on TradingView. Baby Yoda. It's Baby Yoda. Can't you tell from the name that it's probably a scam? Yeah, it looks like it's not on TradingView, man. I don't know if it's an actual scam or not, but I imagine based off of the marketing campaign that is being done on YouTube, probably not too great. I thought the dip on Baba I bought the dip on Baba yesterday. Hope I don't get FF. Do you have some hopium, please? All right, let's check it out. I think this is gonna be the last one. All right, Baba, give me my Baba, sir. All in Baby Yoda. I actually do think that it will try for a short-term bounce here, but I'm not a humongous fan of this chart, actually. Yeah, I do think that it will try for another bounce. Probably does bounce up sometime over the next month or two to like 240, 250-ish region. Long-term, it is an uptrend, yes, but you did kind of have your massive meltdown right here, which is not a good long-term sign. So, you know, do you get another bull trap before this one keels on over? Maybe. I don't know. I do think that you will probably bounce from around this region here, though. Anywhere around here is fine. I'm mostly basing this off of the monthly though. So another, maybe it drops down a little bit more towards 217, 218-ish region, but I would be looking for a bounce at some point over the next month or two to like 240-ish region, maybe even as much as 250. Technically it isn't an uptrend on the monthly, but I do think that you're in the throes of like a trend reversal here on the macro. So yeah, fair enough. I do think that you will get a chance to get out, at least a break even, probably with a little bit of profit, but it will take a little bit of hogging there. Of course, this is not finished advisor, not finished advisor. SHIB, we could look at SHIB actually. I do think that would be interesting. I will look at a couple more just cause. Okay, let's see. SHIB token actually, all things considered, doing a better job than most things. It looks like Bitcoin wants to bounce a little bit right now too. I'll be looking for this one to pop back up towards 820. What is this? 825 to 830-ish region. But here's what you got going on, right? You got, whoops, we don't need this one right here. We need the big one. We're looking at high-term time frames right now. Well, in relationship to this one, looking at something like this, man, it is a distributed pattern right here, or a redistributed pattern in this case. So very, very likely after this next pump, it probably does break down. But let's see, is Bitcoin going to reverse it right here? Have we seen the lows for today? They're not going to be heading lower, bro. We are getting a little bit of that, a little bit of lift off of 32.5. Maybe that is close enough in this case. I'm not too enamored by that. Look, if Bitcoin takes up the last 4-hour high at 33,950, basically 34,000 bucks, I'd be looking for about a $1,500 rip actually back up to the upside. Actually looks okay. Okay. We'll look at CBDT. This is going to be the last one for Mr. Pascal. CBDT. Is this it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is sounds like a weed clinic. It's good, man. It's good. Actually decent. Actually decent. Short term, I'll be looking for it to pop back up somewhere around 79 to 80 cents region. I don't know if it's ready to rock and roll just yet, but this is good. We are seeing accumulation within this region. Probably takes a longer time though. Short term though, a little bit of upside, yes. All right, that's the last one, sir. Yeah, Cam. Yeah, man, it always works out like that. Let's go back onto Bitcoin over here for a second. Looks like we have a little bit of an hourly low in place. Very, 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 very short term right here. Do we have some potential bullish divergence come off that low? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. So maybe a little bit of a short term pop back up to 33.5 or so. I would still be a little bit hesitant on this price action. I'm not so confident on the short term timeframes. My confidence is on the higher term timeframes here. I'm generally looking for another bounce from the low 30s. Maybe we've already seen it. We did get down to about 32.5. So at that point, it is pretty damn close. But here would be my confirmation of a greater bounce incoming. I just want to see the last hourly high taken out, whether it's a wick above 33,965 on BitMexico or a closing high above 33,800. I would look for a price action to return back up towards 35,000 bucks and probably work its way back up. I mean, at that point, things would look okay. But for right now, all higher term timeframes are still bearish, and it would look from a higher term timeframe perspective more likely to come back down to about 31.5 to $32,000 first. I mean, again, we did get very fucking close to that already before trying for like a greater bounce. So most things, it's not most things, all higher term timeframes are bearish right now for Bitcoin. Hidden bearish divergence on the daily, hidden bearish divergence on the 2-day, and the weekly is about to close today for CME right here, which is not in the best posture right there. So maybe another grind of the lows and then prepare for a bit of a bounce. But overall, I do think that at best we're preparing for a bit of a boring sideways market above 30,000 bucks, and at worst we drop out 30,000 and resume the descent into the $20,000 territory. Anyways, with that said, I'll probably upload a short video later today because I imagine we probably will have clarity on this situation by that time. Until then, I want to wish you the best, and with that said, take care and hopefully see you soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, fix or pitch it. Copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it. Fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate.